Hello and welcome everyone. I'm a time traveler from the year 3628, here to warn you about the oncoming Squid Uprising, but you can call me Dungeon Master Dev. And this is the Dungeon Sphere. I'm here with 5 wonderful people and our wonderful technical producer, Ryan, behind the scenes. You won't be seeing Ryan, he's mysterious and in the shadows. But we are bringing you the world premiere of the Dungeon Sphere. Now, let us introduce ourselves so you know who we are. I already said my name and who I am, and so we are going to actually go to the next person.
Hi, I'm Meg, with the she, her pronouns. I'm playing Moxie, an Aasimar monk, Way of Mercy, and she, her as well. So, yeah, punching everything.
Actually forgot my pronouns again, like last week. I go by he, him, or any, they, them, whatever works. And then next up we have Yuri.
Yeah, I thought I was going to start, but then Meg went. I'm Yuri Leviathan. I play Umbran Orion. My pronouns are they, them. His pronouns are going to be he, him. I don't think there was anything further than that.
No? Next up.
And I'm Jacob, he, him. I will be playing the gnome artificer Rexella, also he, him.
After Jacob, we have...
Oh, it's me. I'm Melissa, she, her, and I'll be playing Breda Ironbeard, Dwarven Ancestral Guardian Barbarian, and she's super cool. And that's it. We have...
And then...
Hi.
I don't know.
I don't know where I am. Where am I anymore? Hi, I'm Wyatt. I use him pronouns, and I am playing Canary, who uses she, her pronouns, and she is a Twilight Domain cleric. And I'm super excited for this.
All right, so that's the team lineup. If you didn't know, and if you can't tell by the overlay, this is Team Reaper. And they are one of 13 teams that have just entered the Dungeon Sphere after a nice festival last week. They tested the waters, showed off their skills, and were leading up to the premiere. And then they were announced to the world, met some sponsors, and even managed to make a grown man named Boy cry. But last we left Team Reaper, they were teleported into the Dungeon Sphere and entered an area with a foot of water. And as they looked around, they saw electricity sparking below the murky surface in a distance. They're in this dark cavern, an unknown danger already promising a dangerous trial ahead. Now, it is my pleasure to announce, for the first time ever on Dungeon Sphere, roll initiative.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, that's...
Oh, no.
Got a 1.
That sounds really good.
I just want to say that these monsters that you're about to fight rolled really well. So,
Oh, good for them.
Well,
yes.
let's see if they roll better than me.
Woohoo.
But yes, so what you see, there's just basically like out to the ends of your sight. Yes, even Canari's sight is just a shallow oasis of water in this cavern that is a foot high. Luckily, Rexel, the shortest among you, is probably hopped up in his little spider armor that allows Rexel to not have some difficulty. Yeah, exactly. And as you're looking out, the caverns are dark, other than the sparks of electricity that are beyond. And now, let's get some initiative rolls. Did anyone roll over a 20? Okay.
Oh, but close.
Did anyone roll a 15 through 20?
Yes.
All right, Moxie, what did you roll?
15.
All right. And then Yuri, what did you roll?
19.
Yuri, aka Umbran.
And
19.
Brenda got an 18.
All right. Not too bad, not too bad. What did Rexel roll?
8.
Oop. And what did Canary roll?
Starting off strong with a natural 1 for a 2.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't
So,
you so glad I gave you that positive, Dex?
I am pretty certain
Very.
that Kanari will be going last.
Nice.
All
That's
right.
fine.
Unfortunately, you did not beat the monsters score. So, suddenly you see some swirling of the water as the electric sparks begin nearing you, and they begin actually closing the distance between themselves and Rexel. And Rexel, as it approaches, you can kind of make out these slender shadows in the water. And because you have probably seen these creatures before, you realize that you are in fact witnessing a swarm of electric eels.
Oh, they're on top of me. Okay.
Usually swarms are known for their ability to encompass a creature's space. And I put you on top of them so that you can...
Spice.
Yes, and these electric sparks, even though you're like a little bit out of the water, the eels are swarming madly. It's like they want blood, like they've been starved for so long, and they start leaping out of the water, trying to make some shocking bites against you. And so, as they are surrounding you, one leaps up and attempts to bite you. And what is your AC?
18.
Does a 21 hit?
Well, yeah, so then 21 would hit.
Okay.
That's rough. That's
So
rough.
a few of them actually jump up and latch onto you, and electricity, and everyone, you look and you see Rexel, you know, like in the cartoons where like you see like the skeleton and the person's body is like, that's what's happening. Because it is a pretty decent amount of damage. That is 15 points of piercing damage.
With what? I'm gonna
With
try
all-
not to like fact check you on aquatic animals, but
You can sense from previous seasons, everyone else but Umbrin, because I don't think Umbrin's actually seen the other seasons unless you have from studying.
are they on video? On whatever form of video? Yeah, Umbra spent the first 1 year
Yeah, they're
like,
on Mage
studying the
Flicks.
libraries at Silverona's manor.
Right, so you know that oftentimes the creatures and the beasts and things that are put into the dungeon sphere have been modified in some way to be more aggressive, more deadly, more dangerous. So these aren't your average electric eels. And on top of the piercing damage that you have just taken, that will also be 9 lightning damage.
Oof. Can I, as a reaction, use absorb elements?
Oh, yes, you can. So you have that to 4,
Yep.
and then you have this pocket of electricity, or this lingering electricity that you can now add to your next attack.
All right. It's kind of it's that scene in Avengers where he's like 400% power, and then Iron Man's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of that going on.
Can't wait for your turn at initiative 8. Unfortunately, the waters begin to swirl and swarm again as they begin moving and making their way towards Umbrin. And Umbrin, you see the same thing as these eels begin to swirl around you. And gonna put you on top.
Oh, more.
Yes. They begin swirling and jumping around you, the electricity crackling, and a few of them jump up to try and bite you. However, you had seen Rexel just get whammied by these things, so you, with your natural reactions, were able to avoid all of them as they just like fly by you. And because you were so quick on your feet and quick-witted, it is now your turn.
All right. Let's see what to do. It's so weird with like swarms of things. I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna try a inflict wounds on them. See if that's gonna do it. I have no idea what the AC could be on these things. Will a 22 hit?
I think that hits. So as your hand begins like glowing with this necrotic energy and the purple smoke from your joints swirl around your hand, you take a big swipe and hit a good chunk of these eels.
4. Don't be ones. Don't be ones. 8.
8.
8
All
points of
right.
necrotic damage.
So as you take that swipe, some of the eels actually turn to dust and goop as you touch them, and they just fall back into the water. But
Ew.
the swarm still swirls below you.
I think that is my turn.
All right, and after Umbrin, it is actually Brena.
Woohoo! Brina takes her hammer and she's like, yes, getting into it right away, and rages. And let me click that off so I don't forget. And then she runs in this general direction. She's got 40 feet of movement, so I think that is totally fine. I didn't actually count, but I think that's not 8 things, so we're good. And then she's going to take does that count as flanking / do you have flanking rules? I can't remember.
Yes, we are using flanking rules, and I will consider that flanking.
Cool. So, first attack while raging with the Warhammer. That's going to be... Oh, bummer. Too bad I don't have the brutal or the special critical thing, because that was a 19 on the die for a 27 to hit.
I think that'll hit.
For 11 points of damage for the first swing.
All right, you smash some eels.
And I'm like, you want some more? And I...
You know, eels are actually a pretty, nice meal. Eel meal.
Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna eat some of these after we're done here. Thank you. And then, oh man, that's some shit rolls. 6 plus 8, 14?
14 as your attack roll?
As my attack roll, yes.
Hits.
Really? Cool.
Yes. They're just eels.
Oh.
So that's 11 plus 2, 13 points of damage on the second roll. As she roars and her tattoos all down her arms and on her head glow, and you see her ancestral guardian spirits pop up behind her saying, "Woo! Go, Brina!" And it's great.
Yes. So you have actually managed to reduce the swarm to under half the amount of eels that it started with.
Nice.
And after Brena, it's Moxie's turn.
Okay. Moxie is just gonna move over to here. And she'll go ahead and just attack with her quarterstaff.
Now, if you moved a couple more spaces to the west, you will have flanking.
So like here, or one more?
One more,
There?
and that will give you advantage. Yep.
Okay, cool. So that one was a 10. Oh, natural 20.
Ooh.
All right.
First crit.
And then it's just roll regular damage and double it, correct?
Yeah, that's how we're doing it. You just
Okay.
roll everything normally, and then at the end, you just double it.
Okay, so 20 damage.
20 damage to
Yeah, I
number
got it.
1.
I got a 6. And then she'll go ahead and second attack. Just with the quarterstaff again.
Yep.
It's a 19 and another natural 20.
Oh my gosh. Woo!
But that damage is only 10.
A 10.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's still good.
And that'll be it. I'm gonna just save my key points for maybe more.
You have noticed that this pocket of swarm has actually been reduced to under half the amount of eels that there originally were. Someone named Addie Plays Final Fantasy something says, "Damn, settle
14.
down, Moxie."
Brina's fully cheering her on. Moxie, Moxie.
All right. However, Moxie, there is one more swarm remaining. As
Oh
it
no!
begins swimming and encompasses Canary.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Our one
Sorry.
healer.
This probably doesn't make sense with your fantasy, but the eels are now gonna attempt to bite you.
Okay.
And I'm getting revenge apparently because I rolled a natural 20.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I started a terrible trend.
All right. I am so sorry for what's about to happen. 4, 7. That will be 9 piercing damage doubled to 18.
Okay.
And then 6 lightning damage doubled to 12.
Nice.
That is a total of 30 damage.
Oh no. Oh no.
And I am so sorry.
No, you're not.
I am always on the side of the players. I'm rooting for the protagonist. I just am also a neutral party in all this in terms of play. But,
Thanks, Dempsey, for the gift sub.
Hey, woo, Dempsey! Dempsey plays on Wednesdays for anyone who's just joining us today. Anyway, it is now Rexel's turn. Rexel, don't forget you have that absorb elements lingering.
I do. It unfortunately only works with melee attacks, which is not really his strong suit. So Rexel
Not optimized for this.
Yeah, Rexel instead is going to reach underneath his control panel and pull down on a lever, and spectral blades will sweep around his armor as I cast Sword Burst. That is a Dex saving throw for all of these eels on my armor.
All right, Dex.
Yeah,
It will fail with an 8 on the die.
Nice. So they take 10 points of force damage, 2d6.
So what does this look like?
These like glowing purple spectral blades all like emerge from each of the spider-like contraptions that surround his armor. They like emerge from it and like sweep up and then disappear back down and like become one again with the legs.
Wonderful. How much damage was that again?
10 points of force damage.
All right. The eels are slowly being eviscerated. You see the eel blood just like coalescing in the water.
And that's it for Rexel.
And these things are also like bestial. You see like the sharp teeth. They're definitely modified creatures. And then next up we have Canary.
Ow.
Sweet girl.
Great. I am going to cast. Oh, that changes so many things. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at a 2nd level.
We just got Hef Bean, by the way, who subscribed at tier 2 for 3 months in advance.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Hopefully that
Welcome to the
will help
stream.
Canary not die.
Big shout out. That's my mom. Hi, mom.
Oh,
hi.
Hey.
Hi, Yuri's mom. Thanks for watching.
That's a shout out for my mom.
Thanks for all the feedback last week.
All right.
I healed myself for 10 points of healing, so I'm not at least on 6, which is good.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then I don't have any bonus action cantrips or anything, so I'm just gonna I'll cry. Okay.
Like a free action to cry.
I think a reaction to sob. I don't like this.
That actually requires your full action.
Oh.
The eels that are now on Rexel, they are, luckily for Rexel, they are actually quite reduced at this point. So what they're gonna do, instead of doing these bites, is the remaining eels are going to release this electric jolt, and you feel, even through your armor, this and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. The save is 13.
Okay, Constitution.
And
oh.
because you are partially submerged in water, or at least your armor is, you have disadvantage.
Oh, that's unfortunate because the first one was a 13 plus 5. 10 plus 5 for a 15, still good.
Okay, so you feel this jolt, but you're actually able to resist the paralyzing effects of it.
Okay. Is there any damage with that?
Nope.
Okay.
They were just trying to slow you down for a bit.
Cool.
And eel number 2 is going to attempt to do the same thing. So, Umbrin, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
One's an 11, one's a 13, and my con mod is +6.
Okay.
So,
You
smallest
feel
one
the
is a
exact same
17.
thing. You feel this jolt that goes through your body, but you're able to resist the effects. Maybe something to do with the wood. And,
Of not being made of metal. Like
yeah, something like that. The wooden parts. Okay, so after that eel, it is now Umbrin's turn.
All right. I'm going to use a meta magic point, and I'm going to cast Tasha's Mind Whip. I'm going to twin spell it. I'm going to do on eel swarms 1 and 2. So they need to make an intelligence saving throw. And
Ooh, I bet they're super smart.
We all know that eels are the smartest.
So shouldn't be too bad.
I rolled a 7 for one of them, and then a 14 for the other, and they have a -5 intelligence.
So neither pass. They're gonna take the full. They're gonna take the full 3d6, and they now have disadvantage on something. I'm gonna read the spell. What it does. Well, let's roll damage first.
Seems like a good plan.
They're gonna take 5 points of force damage, psychic damage. And now yes, so it's a little lengthy.
I have it right here, actually. Yeah.
Until the end of its next turn. On its turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action, but it can only pick one, and no reaction.
Nice.
Right. Basically, just tanking their action economy.
Yeah.
Awesome. I am kind of picturing, you know, those people that like take the ribbons and dance with them. You know, is that how Umbrin would do this mind whip? Like little ribbons.
Not really. It's
Okay.
puppet strings that come out of his fingers and they
Ooh.
wrap around them, and they kind of like bind and hold them there.
That
Yeah.
is even better.
It's gonna be a lot of puppet strings.
There's like these psychic tendril strings that are now causing these eels to not have a good time.
Yeah.
And after Umbrin, it is Brina's turn.
Okay, she's gonna swing again. With garbage roll. Luckily, it's at advantage. For 18 on the dice.
That will hit.
Cool. Or 18 total, not on the dice. 6, 11, 13 points of damage for the first swing.
All right.
And that is bludgeoning damage, by the way, since it's a warhammer.
Yep.
Don't know if that matters. Still up?
Yep.
Cool. Another swing. Oh, fuck. That is super garbage. That's a 1 and a 2 on the dice. So
No.
10 to hit.
All right. There's only a few eels left, so they're still kicking.
But
But
the 10 doesn't hit.
oh, it doesn't. Oh, I thought that was the damage. My bad. Yeah. So they're still up.
But that was a question. 10 doesn't hit, question mark, right?
And then after Brina, it is Moxie's turn.
All right, she's gonna go ahead and just attack those eels again. With advantage, right?
You're just gonna leave
Wow.
Canary to her own
Well,
device.
I mean, she's fine.
Yes, best friend.
Yeah, well, just give me a second. I get 2 attacks. I'll get down there. But this one doesn't do anything because I rolled a 5 and a 4. So even with my addition, it's not enough. Yeah. It would be a 12. So
Their AC is 14, so that will miss.
yeah. Okay, then, if I move past them, do they get an opportunity attack, right?
You are pretty sure that they would not because of the mind whip that Umbran had just lashed out.
On one or?
On both.
One and
Oh,
two.
okay, got it. Okay, I missed that. So yeah,
Twin spell. So cool.
yeah, okay. So I'm gonna move down here, and we'll go ahead and try to attack these eels really quick. With a 21.
That will definitely hit.
I think I counted that correctly. Okay, so I'll go ahead and that's 8 damage, and then I will go ahead and use a key point to Fury of Blows it, and I'm also going to use another key point to make. Oh wait, do I have to do that? I think I have to use one more in order to do a heal.
I think with the healing hands, it's part of your flurry of blows.
Yeah, I was trying to find it because I couldn't remember. Oh yeah. Okay, so I don't have to spend that extra one. Okay, so I'll go ahead and roll the unarmed strike really quick. That's a natural 20.
My God.
Oh.
Is that 3 already?
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna need a dice cam for Meg.
Right? I swear.
It's so
Show
excited
the
to
receipts.
hit shit.
Show the receipts.
Look, I haven't done anything wrong. I promise. So
We're not suspicious yet.
I just picked a really good dice today. It'll be all ones later, so don't worry. So that would be 7 doubled, so 14.
All right.
And then for the healing hands, that's only 4. Sorry.
That's still good.
But that's an extra 4. She like punches the eels and then also lightly punches Canary and heals her.
Just lightly caresses her face.
Yeah. She's too busy punching.
Love tap.
How much was that for again?
It was for 4.
Better than nothing. That actually helps a lot. Thank you.
All right. Meg, that's your last natural 20. Like,
I know, yeah.
no more.
Well, it'll be months before I get another one.
Right. No more for you, Moxie. But after your turn, it is actually the eels' turn. So what the eels are going to do is they're going to see that there are 2 creatures that are like around them. So they're going to slide over just a little jiffy. Bloop, bloop, and they're going to use that action to release a jolt of electricity. Psst. And I need both Canary and Moxie to make Constitution saving throws at disadvantage.
Okay.
That is a 12 for me.
All right, you feel this electricity go through you, and your body is actually stunned until the end of your next turn.
Oh, no.
I rolled an 8.
Oh,
And Moxie
no.
is
Oh,
also stunned until the
Oh,
end
no.
of her next turn.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
And Rexel, Umbran, and Brayna, I want you 3 to roll me perception checks to see if you can see that this effect is affecting Moxie and Canary.
7.
19.
17.
Brayna and Umbran see that Moxie and Canary's muscles have kind of locked up and are connecting the previous jolt of electricity from number 2 eels to what is happening to them right now.
Hmm.
Rexel has no idea. You're preoccupied.
Yeah.
There's like eels in the joints of your armor, and it's really weirding you out.
This is just.
You're both fascinated and disgusted. Bioelectricity? Whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is next? Who is next? It will be Rexel is next,
Yeah.
actually.
The other thing that Rexel is preoccupied with is reaching down beneath his chair and pulling out his little homunculus hummingbird. He's gonna
Oh.
toss into the air and send towards Canary because Canary was hurt earlier. And Rexel is going to hold an assuage spell for when it lands on Kanari to try and heal Kanari. And
that's actually one of my homebrew spells. So yeah, I made this spell. I forgot that you had access to these.
I saw it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, oh, never seen that. But yeah, so my servant goes immediately after me on initiative. So right. on its turn, I will have it try and land on Kanari and then use its reaction to cast my spell. So on the start of my turns, not on the start of Kanari's turns, on the start of my turns, Kanari, you will gain 6 hit points.
That will happen at each of the start of your turns for 1 minute until Rexella loses concentration.
Yeah.
I love the spell and I'm keeping it as canon.
Yeah. So this little like polished brass hummingbird just kind of like lands on your shoulder and you just feel like warm pulses of healing energy coming from it.
I'm actually picturing it having like a medicinal like magic inside of it, and then it like stabs into Kanari. It's like a little
needle going.
Yeah, it's a hummingbird. It has like a little needle kind of beak. So boop.
I love how the healer gets hurt in like healed in like the most uncomfortable ways. Just like
first you get punched, now you're getting stabbed, but it's all causing healing, so it's like that's good.
It was a best friend punch.
Anyway, up next after Rexella is Kanari. Kanari, you are stunned, unfortunately, until the end of your next turn, but you will regain 6 hit points.
Oh, is that at the start?
Yeah, at the start of Rexella's turn.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
But you are stunned, which means you essentially lose your turn. At the end of your turn, you are no longer stunned. But then it is back to Eel Swarm number 1. They are on Rexella and they're out for blood, so they're going to attempt to once again shockingly bite Rexella. But that will miss. No. Rexella's already beginning to get used to their movement patterns and is already coming up with solutions on how to dodge and avoid. After that, it is Eel number 2. They're going to attempt to make a bite against Umbrin
at disadvantage. And because my spirit guardians are all up in their grill and whatnot.
Nice. And Umbrin, what is your AC again?
16.
So they would have bit you. One of them leapt out of the water, was aiming right for your throats. But one of Brayna's ancestral guardians, a spiritual ancestor, reaches out and grabs the eel out of the air and then throws it back in the water.
Good job, Grandpa Johan!
And they can't do anything else because of the mind whip.
No, they're not ghosts. They're poltergeists. They can interact with objects.
Yeah. They're ancestral guardians. They're the spirits of the ancestors. They can interact with the world through Brayna, in a sense. And then it is Umbrin's turn.
All right. I'm going to stick my tongue out at the eel that just tried to bite me, and I'm going to run over to these ones over here to come assist my friends and get into. Does it count as flanking if they're?
You'll need to be stunned? Right there.
But it does still count as flanking, even though they're stunned. Yes.
The stuns cause the incapacitated. Yes, so there is actually no advantage at the moment, unless you were to move one more to the left. Then you would actually technically be flanking with Kanari because Kanari is no longer stunned.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do that. Boop. All right. So I'm going to green flame blade. I pull out my dagger and I spin it around, and then those green flames come off of it. And I'm going to roll with advantage. Does a 25 hit?
No. Yes.
All right, so they're going to
very much so.
The 1d8 plus the 1d6 for sneak attack.
Yep.
And then my spellcasting modifier, as per the spell says.
Because
And
I was gonna say our characters are actually starting at level 5. That's something I haven't mentioned to the audience yet. So because Umbrin is level 5, Green Flame Blade actually does damage on a hit. Not just the leap.
Okay, so that's 7 from the fire, 1 from the sneak attack, and 3 from the dagger. So that's 11 points of damage. Plus my spellcasting ability, which is a 7, so that's 18 points of damage.
Oof. So yeah, you slice and dice some eels. You get some smoked eel to snack on later. Well, everyone except Umbrin.
Yeah, no, I don't need to eat.
And once you are done with your turn, it is now Brena's turn. Brena no longer flanking,
Right.
but these eels are not looking too keen on surviving any longer.
And she'd be like, okay, guys, just one more little swing. We should get him dead.
All right, Brena. Okay, we got this.
That is a dirty 20
Ooh, yep. There he is.
for 15 points of damage.
How do you want to do it?
She's playing whack-a-mole with these guys. Just like, boop, 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 boop. Real quick little things. Yes.
All right. Wonderful. That means you now have defeated one of the eels.
Okay, which one is this perfect. Okay. And then she's going to run this way. Say, coming to help. And this time roll with advantage.
Yep.
Nice.
For 18 on the dice, 26 to hit.
Yep. Definitely
burped
is.
a little bit. For 11 points of damage.
And you said that's bludgeoning, right?
Yes.
Is your Warhammer magical?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's okay. All right. And now, there's just a few more eels left, so you will probably be fine in a little bit, unless something really bad happens. Giant eel. It's only a foot of water, so there's no giant eels. Anyway, Moxie, you were stunned. So that means that at the end of your turn, you are done. So, but you are no longer stunned at the end of your turn. However,
Yay.
the eels are going to attempt to bite you, knowing that you are still a little compromised. And that is a 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's not as many eels, so the ones that do hop up and bite you will do some damage. 6 damage, to be exact, for the bite, and then the electricity that jolts off of that will only be 3 lightning damage. Not a lot of eels left, which means you take reduced damage.
Cool.
And then it is now Rexel's turn.
All right, at the start of Rexel's turn, Soren the hummingbird's gonna kind of like hop over Kanari's shoulder and just kind of like right into the neck and heal you for 6 points. It's 6 points of healing. And then Rexel is going to reach down and pull that lever again and do another sword burst.
All right. And what was the save again?
It's a dexterity save, DC 16.
I think it fails. It was a 12.
Ooh, roll double 6s on the 2d6. So that is
How do you
12.
want to do this?
Rexel's just like completely disappeared beneath the platform and is just like throwing eels, like reaching into the joints of the armor and just like, no, this is not optimal. And then just like reaches up, pulls the thing again, and they just all and fly off and just kind of flop onto the ground.
Into the water. Fresh unagi all over Rexel.
And then I think it's a bonus action. Let me just make sure that I get that right. Yes, for a bonus action, I'm going to command Soren to, now that it has helped Kanari and doesn't need to stay there, is going to try and do a force strike on its turn against the eels that are around. So it's just going to kind of hop around Canary and just kind of like peck the ones that are on it and try and get them off. So for its turn, it makes a 4-strike attack.
Lethality.
Total is 17.
That will hit.
So that is a d4 plus 2.
That
5
helps.
5 points of
Helps.
force damage.
All right, so you burst a couple eels.
Yeah.
And then oh no.
Oh no!
Yuri Nightbot Nightbot whammied your mom.
Oh no, Nightbot.
My
Because of
mom.
caps. Because of caps. I'm so sorry, Yuri's mom.
I'm trying to watch chat, but I'm also trying to take note.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
Mom, are you
symbols.
okay?
Mhm.
Oh.
Canary. It is now your turn.
Panicking symbol. Guys, my mom's just trying to emoji. Leave her alone.
Jeez, Nightbot.
Nightbot has no mercy.
Nightbot is that picture of no fun allowed with the robot.
Great. So for her action, she's gonna use Toll the Dead on this last swarm over here. So I need a Wisdom saving throw, a DC 15, I think.
And they rolled a 10.
Great. And since it's hurt, those are D12s. It doesn't do much good when you roll a 1 and a 4 for a 5 necrotic damage.
A couple of the eels decay and turn to ash from their spell, so. And that was
Great.
your action?
Yeah, that's the action. And then bonus action, she's gonna throw a healing word over to Rexel,
Oh, thanks.
trying to repay getting for all of his healing. Well, that's better. For 7 points of healing.
Nice. Awesome. Doing a little better over here then. Cool.
Good.
Right, and if you are done, that actually brings us back to Umbrin.
One more green flame blade. Leave my friends alone. Oh, it helps if you rolled a hit first.
Yes.
That was all like, and damage. Here we go. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
Oh, nice. I got a little worried. I rolled a 7 and an 8. I was like, oh no.
Ooh.
That's gonna be 10 plus 7 for 17 points of damage.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
As one of them jumps up to bite Canary, I'm just gonna like cut it in half and like leave my friends alone.
You slice and dice a little bit, the flames swirling around you, and suddenly all of the eels are either ash, chopped up, or just floating dead in the water. And you are now out of combat. Probably still a little shook. Probably like, are there more? What else is here? But
What a way to start.
after a few moments of paranoia, you determine that there's nothing else in the nearby vicinity that is a threat to you.
Whew.
And Brayna waves by. Bye guys, see you later.
And the ancestral guardians just wave back. They clink some spectral, ghostly ale glasses and then fade away.
All right, so now we're not being accosted by eels. I think they were lamprey, just very large. Umbrin would like to look around and see what else is here other than the foot of water we've been standing in.
Roll me a perception check.
12.
From what you can see, there's just this large expanse of shallow water. Every so often, there's a rock that is jutting out of the ceiling. I can never remember the difference which one's a stalagmite and which one's a stalactite.
Tight are holding on tight to the ceiling. Might are mighty on the ground.
Muddy on the ground. Okay, so the stalagmites are there's a few every so often jutting out of the ground, jutting through the water. You see stalactites on on the ceiling. But not only that, you actually see some roots and different creatures like bats and such just scurrying around.
Brayna finds one of the charred eels and starts chomping on it like jerky.
Ooh.
Another thing before I was gonna do this right after combat. Maybe for people who are new and do not know, we could explain what the dungeon sphere is, because I don't think we ever actually gave an explanation to what we're here or what we're doing.
That's true. Let me go ahead and do that. While I'm doing that, Wyatt, you actually will receive 9 more healing from the Aswash.
Every 6 seconds, just like.
Technically, you only need to be stabbed the first time until the concentration ends.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But Rexella might just want to do it to you anyway.
I get 9 more points.
No, you would get 6 more points for 9 more turns, so you would get 54 more.
So many points.
After the first 2 rounds, the hummingbird is just stabbing Kanari and just healing the damage it's doing.
All right.
Sorry, just left it.
So,
just trying to get her hand underneath it.
the dungeon sphere. The dungeon sphere is this massive Death Star-like sphere that hovers above a specific city. This year it's the Evercrest, the city of Evercrest in the Break Islands, but it actually travels between different locations in the Magisterium each season. And the dungeon sphere is a large, massive dungeon with 10 levels, which means 10 different layers within the sphere until you reach the center. At the center of the sphere is a wish, and that wish spell can grant you your heart's greatest desire. So everyone that joins the dungeon sphere is trying to fight and reach the center without dying, and trying to beat the other teams that are trying to reach the center to receive that wish, which also comes with fame, fortune, glory, bragging rights, all that fun stuff. But it's dangerous. There's many trials ahead, and there's various ways to get advantages, such as exploring the dungeons, finding different rooms to challenge and try and win the rewards. They each come with different challenges and such, and then once they feel prepared enough, they go fight the Exit Guardian. The Exit Guardian, there are 10 of them for each layer, and if you defeat the Exit Guardian, then you are able to exit that level and go on to the next level, which also levels you up. They have no idea what lies in the rooms, what the Exit Guardian is. They only know that they're in the dungeon sphere. What lies beyond in the darkness? They have no idea. And so, let's pretend that this was Finn, whatever his name is, the announcer. I actually gave him a name. I'm gonna, every so often, I plan on piping in as like an announcer to kind of like bring in the Hunger Games-esque portion of this. His name is Finn Alpine. He's a human, and every so often he will announce different things. And so that was Finn Alpine explaining to the audience exactly what is going on. And now, back to the team.
And it is a real audience at home, because the dungeon sphere is broadcast over the Scryervision, which are mirrors in people's homes that are kind of like TVs.
Yeah, they're like scrying lenses, scrying mirrors. And so whenever something is broadcasting, all they have to do is just look at their scrying mirror, and there it is. And there's actually invisible cameras that track our team members all of the time that they don't see, don't know about.
We know about them.
You know about them, but you don't know where they are. You can't like reach out and like attempt to like swat them away. Maybe they're partially in the ethereal plane, who knows? Anyway, back to the team.
Brayden's still jumping on an eel.
Anybody need healing?
No,
As
I didn't
Kanari's just like dripping blood everywhere.
I hate it here. I already hate it here, and it's the first room.
I'm sure they won't all be this wet.
Kanari's like, I have to go call my mom to come pick me up.
Yes, I gotta go home. My mom said I can't be here anymore. When my mom's the one who put me in here.
All right, so let's take stock. We just got here. We've fought some eels. We need to find the exit guardian. So far, all I see is cave.
Does it look like there's any way that, like, isn't just more cave? So we're not walking around aimlessly in a cave?
I'm gonna have Kanari roll me a perception check, since Kanari, as a Twilight cleric, has 300 feet of dark vision.
Ooh, 17.
You begin scanning around, and you actually see beyond a little cliff, like a small little ledge. The water stops at that ledge, and you can actually hop up it and then continue further down the tunnels.
I point that out to the rest of the team and then start walking. But as she does, she's going to walk past Moxie and give her Vigilant Blessing. So I can touch one creature, including myself. Advantage on the next initiative roll the creature makes. And this lasts until until either I give the benefit to somebody else or it is used.
Awesome.
Nice.
I follow Kanari to this ledge that she saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Moxie would just like follow along.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yep. Brayna's charging ahead.
All right, so as you continue through the water, you hear the splash, splash, splash of your team members walking through. You eventually get to this, it's just a 5-foot ledge, but it's enough to block the water from continuing in. So it's no problem for any of you to hop up and finally make it onto dry land after this eventful encounter. As you look around the cavernous tunnels, fluctuates in height, ranging anywhere from 30 to maybe 60 feet. And there's the stalactites and stalagmites every so often. It is a very standard dungeon tunnel, naturally formed. Well, it appears naturally formed. Nothing in here was technically naturally formed. And in the walls, you can actually see different roots and different things that you would expect from an actual dungeon to have when you're near the surface. You actually can see some rats, some bats, spiders, and spider webs every so often. And yeah, that's the condition of these caves and tunnels that you are currently in. However, as you pull yourselves out of the water, you feel some strange sensations on your body. Everyone except Umbrin and Rexella. And as you like pull up pant legs, skirt legs, and etc., you see like a dozen or so leeches on each of you. Each of you flesh people who are not Rexella.
Gross.
Nari's just gonna start lighting sacred flames. Mm-hmm.
Don't need any bloodletting today, man.
Yeah, Rexel will mage hand and just start slowly picking them off. Individuals.
Yeah,
I assist with my own mage hand.
Brain's like trying to slice them off with her shield.
Yeah, eventually you get all the leeches off. They're nothing. They're just normal leeches. You don't have like a disease or anything right now, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, do you want con saves now or when we find out about it?
Just kidding. All right, so you have the entire dungeon sphere before you. It is now up to you to determine what you do next.
So there's just this one hallway, the ledge. Does it go to either side, or is it just kind of funnel in this one direction?
The water seems to just like it opened up into this large pond reservoir-like thing, but then once you got into this tunnel, it seems to narrow down, and all you can see is just a path forward and then the water behind you.
Okay. Well, looks like we've got one way to go.
Onward to victory.
Woo.
Brayna's fully like doing a little march, like, you know, just walking around like that forward. I don't know if that was loud enough to hear, but it's fine.
You've got no reason to stop and look at things. We're on our way.
Yes.
Making our way downtown, walking back.
Does anything in this tunnel look, I mean, you said rocks, tree roots, does anything look out of place, hidden doors, anything like that?
As far as you're aware, no, unless you want to do a closer inspection. You can either look around to perceive, or you can try and investigate a little bit closer.
I won't do an investigation check unless there's like something that jumps out to me, but just kind of keeping an eye out.
All right. After a few hours, those of you that require sustenance actually begin feeling a little hungry. It's from what you know of the previous seasons, this first layer is the largest, and a lot of the time survival is what the greatest enemy will be. And so everyone will need to mark off one set of rations.
I don't remember. How many did we come in with?
20.
Okay.
25. Umbran split his up and gave.
Oh,
5
yeah.
to the team.
Right.
The perks of having a Warforged. All right.
I also don't have to sleep, so you guys get a full night rest, and Umbran gets to keep watch.
You kind of just, you just like kind of sentry mode.
Brina has added to the rations with, anyone else wants a meal? It's a pretty good chart like this.
I don't think that's purely sanitary.
No rations.
It's fine for me. I don't know what you. This is okay. Fine, I'll have them all then. Brina doesn't care. Brina doesn't care about poison. She's at work.
That's true. Moxie, Kanari, who has the better wisdom or better perception, passive perception?
I'm gonna assume probably Canary, but
I have a 14 passive perception.
oh, I have a 16.
Yeah, I don't have proficiency with perception because they don't give it to clerics with.
I don't remember how I got it. I got it some weird way though. But yes, I have a 16.
All right, Moxie, you in the walls you actually see a little bit of a glow in a little indent in the wall.
Okay, so Moxie would definitely point it out to everyone and be like, "Oh, hey, glowing," and kind of walk that way.
I was
Get it better.
I was gonna say during this little sit down while we're eating, Rexel probably would ritual cast detect magic. So whenever that is done, he'll walk over and take a look and see if this glowing kind of gives off any kind of ping.
All right. So as you look a little bit closer and finish up your ritual, there's no magical ping. What you do see is a little nest of glowworms. These glowworms are a little stationary. They're not moving too much, but there's this bioluminescent glow coming off of them. And they're pretty decently bright for such a small little creature. And when you have a handful of them, they actually maybe glow in like a 10-foot little area.
I would like to take out one of the bottles from my alchemist supplies, and I'm going to collect like a little vial of glowworms.
All right, so you now have a little bottle of glowworms. I'm assuming puncturing some holes to make sure that they have some breathing. And I'm going to have Rexel roll me a nature check.
Ooh, that's a 25.
All right. You know a lot about glowworms. You've always been fascinated with bioluminescence, I suppose. And you begin to you know that these are a specific type of glowworm, Ophelia fultoni, and they feast on fungi.
Okay.
What fun gals.
Fungals go.
No, you don't want them to feast on fun gals. We'd lose half our party.
True, so fun.
Do these glowworms look like my standard glowworms, or do they look like they've been genetically modified or made freaky in some way?
They seem to glow a little bit stronger than your average glowworm.
Okay.
Nothing else freaky about them,
Yeah,
other
okay.
than the fact that they are worms that glow.
Okay. Well, that's an excellent specimen right there. That's should keep a couple of those, just for posterity.
I do.
That's really swell.
I will keep my eyes open for mushrooms to feed them. Are glowworms the same as silkworms? Will they make silk that glows? Because that would be wonderful. I feel like we've gotten distracted. I feel like our short attention spans have come back to bite. Let's keep
A big
moving.
Team Reaper.
Actually, you continue onward for a little bit, and it actually takes you a few more hours
Oh, wow.
to crawl through, and those of you that need to sleep are starting to feel the weariness of sleep fall upon you.
Rest for the night.
I think so.
Okay. Canary will try and find a good place for us to bed down for the night and start ritually casting Lehman's tiny hut.
Ooh.
Nice, nice.
Yay!
Mhm.
We have a hut.
Yeah, we do have a hut.
Yes.
So for
That's
those
why
of
I
you
love-
who don't know, Leomon's tiny hut is this basically impenetrable wall of force that can spring up and encompass up to 8 creatures, I believe. 8 medium-sized creatures.
9, actually.
Yeah.
9. And air can pass through, and Canary can actually control the light situation in here. It blocks rain. And it's immovable, but it's basically setting up a magical tent that protects you.
We need
Um,
protection.
On the outside, she kind of decorates it similarly to try and camouflage into the rest of the tunnel. But on the inside, it almost looks like the night sky overhead. So there's a bunch of little constellations that slightly move as people are staring at it and kind of twinkle. And she gets to work kind of building a small fire on the inside, and will, as a treat, cast Create Food and Water, using a little bit of the eel that Brina is still kind of working on as inspiration. She makes a lovely round of kind of fish and other veggies.
Yep, so fish and water begins appearing, and you need containers to contain the water, but I'm assuming that you all have water skins and other such things. If you were to eat the water, or eat the food, eat the water, I'm going insane. If you were to eat the food, it is pretty bland, but it is filling and nourishing. You can obviously like spice it up if you want.
Brina clearly has just like a ridiculous amount of like herbs and things. Be like, oh, here, yep, there you go. Much better.
And then the tiny hut, it does have an opaque darkness to the outside to try and like mask it from anything that might be around. and the inside has that twilight, starry night sky, but it is transparent. You can see through it out into the cave, but it is pretty cathartic to watch as you're trying to fall asleep.
In our subsequent couple hours of walking, did we find any mushrooms or fungi for our worm friends?
Oh yes, various amounts.
Okay.
You know that they focus more on fungal spores, so you try to get fungi that have recently or are close to releasing their spores and whatnot.
Okay. Rexel's gonna hop down from his armor and just pull out a sketchbook and just start kind of sketching the worms, the fungi, kind of like a brief, very rudimentary map of what we've seen so far. Just gonna start taking notes.
Perfect. All right. Before you all fall asleep, you actually hear a few thuds on the top of the tiny hut.
But we don't see anything.
You see dark, shadowy objects that hit the top and then almost slide down the side of the tiny hut before disappearing off into the darkness.
Oh, that's not good.
Should be fine for 8 hours, but I don't know. That might be a problem in the morning.
Well, we'll be ready for him when we need to go out there, yeah?
Yeah.
This
Not
time, try to let me take the brunt of the hits, because I'm pretty good at that.
I will do my best to not let anything sneak up from behind me in water.
Again.
Again.
I did want to do just a quick strategy meeting after that fight. I don't know if this happened or not, or I dreamt it maybe. Focus fire on one target. We seem to get a little distracted when there's more than one thing, and we like to split up, which could get someone seriously hurt. Probably not me, probably you guys, but still. A good thing to keep in mind. I know we all want to split up and hit different things the most we can. But it's all about strategy and working together.
You know, he's right. I can usually outline something with fairy fire and kind of give us a priority target, but I just kind of got jumped and they were all in the joints and it was a mess. I'm sorry.
Yes, we were all a little off guard.
Yeah.
But
By the way,
fight didn't go too bad.
Chat, particularly Ryan, is giving me great ideas, by the way. For
Ryan,
I don't like
potential
that.
fires.
No more DM ideas.
I love the Leechviathan idea.
No.
Dislike.
Time for Chaos Cube.
No.
Chaos Cube.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do while in this tiny hut?
Brandon will just say, well, just point me in the right direction. I'll hit anything you want me to. That one was right there, and that worked pretty good, I think.
Are we getting like consistent thuds on the dome, or was it like a one-time deal?
It is occasional, not quite a frequent sound, but there's no pattern to it.
We're safe in here, right? Like they can't come in?
No, nothing should be able to get in here. Spells can't extend through it or be cast through it. So we're good on that front. It's nice and dry and comfortable in here.
Should I stick my head out and see what's out there? I can do that.
Yeah, you can. I'm not able to leave unless this all goes away.
Okay. Brain is going to stick her head out for like after she hears one thump, she'll stick her head out and try to see what it is.
All right, roll me a perception check.
That's 12.
You look up, all you see are stalactites. There's one directly above you. Wait, is it growing? Oh no. And then all of a sudden a piercer stabs you in the shoulder. as you're poking out, and it hits you and pierces your armor.
Awesome.
And you
My
will...
lack of armor. I'm not wearing any armor.
The ceiling here was about 40 feet, so this will actually be 4d6 damage to you.
Awesome. Super stoked about that. That's great.
So that will actually be 22 points of damage as
Jesus Christ.
digs into you, and blood is just...
Can I back up as soon as I feel it?
Yeah, so you actually go back into the tiny hut, and it's still in you, squirming around.
Oh, don't bring it in here!
Oh, God.
I found it! Oh my God, I found it!
Oh, God.
We did start combat. I should have spoken up that we would deal with it in the morning. I blame myself on that.
Oh, you did say one target, Umbren, as Canary lifts up her own warhammer.
Umbren's gonna just reach over and pull it out with no regard to medicine.
All right, roll me a sleight of hand check to see if you can get your hands on it.
25.
Yeah, so you're able to get
not 25. I'm so sorry. 23.
Yeah, such a difference. You get your hands on it. You actually have to use both hands as it squirms around. It's actually this. It appears to be not a full-grown one. It seems a little bit smaller, but it's large enough where both hands are required to grab it, and then you pull it out, and it still squirms. And
throw it out!
Roll me an athletics check real quick.
Sure. Athletic?
Yes. All right. So as you're trying to maintain your grip on this, it actually slips out of your hands and then starts trying to very slowly make its way out of the tiny hut.
I kick it.
You kick it?
Kick it out.
All right. So you don't even need to roll for this. It's so slow. You just kick it, and then it goes as it skids, and then you just see it climb off into the darkness, and then you hear another thud.
Yes, well, we'll deal with it in the morning. Everyone get some sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Canari's going to bed, she'll use an action to grant the 300-foot dark vision over to Umbren, since he's keeping watch for the night.
Oh. That lasts for an hour?
Yeah, it'll...
Okay. That'll help with first watch, at least.
Yep.
Wonderful. So you slowly go to sleep. You don't sleep quite too comfortably. None of you are used to the darkness, the dankness, the dampness, the being underground. I think the one that would be most comfortable would probably be Raina, because you're a hill dwarf.
Yeah, but though she does more prefer, the forge.
Yeah.
A little warmer.
It's not as claustrophobic for you. Rexel, what type of gnome are you?
Forest gnome.
Forest gnome, so this is pretty uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, you eventually all fall asleep. You're pretty exhausted, and the tiny hut is a blessing because you all sleep through the night. The occasional thuds become almost rhythmic, not a pattern, but they drown away into the background, and you're able to fall asleep. And you wake up after this amount of sleep, which means that your hit points, your spell slots, all that stuff, you get the effects of a long rest. And
Cool.
Kanari is aware of the timing for the tiny hut, and you know that it's probably within the next 20 minutes that it will drop.
Are we still hearing the rhythmic drops?
Yes.
Okay.
They
So-
are
go ahead.
anything. If anything, they are persistent.
Okay. So Brady's gonna say, okay, so I got my shield. Maybe everyone get under it as the thing drops so the things don't fall on our heads, because that would be kind of gross.
That works for me. Do you want another shield? Is Kanari's
Sure.
kind of holding up her own.
Sure, she'll be like double shielding it.
Just
Oh,
holding
I
it.
Brina grabs it
Stood
as
up, and he's like, "Does this help?"
Foxy's just looking at all these short people holding shields, like, oh, I'm gonna have to crouch so much.
For
So-
those of you who are
yeah.
watching, the heights of our characters, Moxie is actually 5'10", and then Kanari is 5'6", and then Umbrin is 5'1", and Braina 5'2".
He's 5'2" with these new heels that he got.
Oh, the heels! And then Braina is 4 foot 8 inches, and then
Mhm.
how tall is Rexel?
Rexel's like 2.5, 2 3/4 feet. He's a shorty.
So kind of a small team.
Smalls.
Brenna is very tall, is pretty tall for a dwarf, but Rexel is tiny for a gnome. So that's
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
I mean, but being small has its advantages when you're meant to be like this rogue assassin type construction. So
I'm a rogue assassin construction.
no, that's what I'm saying for you. You're tiny, so that's why.
No, I'm not tiny. I'm fairly, I'm short, but I mean, fairly normal human sized.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thus,
Just perfect the way we are. Everything is great.
30 seconds until Tiny Hut drops.
I'm ready.
If we haven't heard a thud in a second, Rexel's just gonna poke.
There's another.
Ah.
Just one thud, but that means that it hits the ground and it has to crawl back up.
I could try and get us a view of what we're looking at. Could cast Fairy Fire up there to see how many there are.
Go for it.
Boom.
Okay, we'll just kind of poke his hand out and just like look, and then a quick Fairy Fire at the ceiling, just to see how many of them might fall for it and get lit up in a way that we might be able to see how many there are up there.
So as you launch this almost flare-like burst of magic, it hits the ceiling and then spreads out almost like vapors along this tunnel's ceiling, and 3 different stalactites are there. And what is the save for that?
It's a Dex DC 16.
Dex. One lights up as the fairy fire swirls around it, and it glows in the darkness above you.
Okay. Well, that's something of a relief. At least it's not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Do we want to fight these things, or do we just want to move on?
I think we just run.
I think we just run.
I'm okay with running.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the tiny hut drops, and suddenly 3 of these things fall. The one that is lighting up is going to have disadvantage because you're aware of it. But the others are going to attempt to fall. And I'm going to roll to see who they hit.
Brady's got her shield. She's up over people that she.
All right, which means you get +2 to your AC, by the way. And so the first one is going to fall and actually hit Braina's shield. So it'll thunk. But
Wait,
you're
she's gonna
strong, mighty. You just like launch it away and it goes. Then the next one is going to fall on Vrexel.
Uh-oh.
This is not fairy fired. However, Vrexel, you were kind of anticipating it. So you press like a button on your armor and you actually juke to the side. and one just hits the ground right next to you. The one that was fairy fired is going to have disadvantage, and that is going to try and hit Moxie. Moxie, unfortunately, you were a little distracted, still groggy from just waking up. Your hair is just like a mess, and like there's still some drool on the side of your mouth. And so this one will actually fall and hit you. Luckily, this portion is only 30 feet tall, and so the gravity won't pull it quite too quick. So that will be only 13 points of damage as it slices your arm as you're running along.
Okay.
And then one more falls.
Jeez.
And it will hit Umbren, actually.
Oh, my boy.
Only for 7 points of piercing damage.
Was that a dex save or did that hit my AC?
AC.
Shield.
So as you cast up the shield, that brings your AC up to 21. This glowing shield of force magic swirls around you, and this piercer that was going to like almost dead on hit you from above hits the shield and then slides off, and you hear it go. And as you keep running, you actually begin to pick up speed, and the ones that weren't anticipating a creature being below them begin falling behind you as you just book it. And you see a line of like these worm-like creatures of varying sizes just falling from above, hitting the ground, and you make it out of this almost minefield area of these creatures.
So Brenna's got 40 feet of movement. I don't know. Moxie's probably about the same.
Yep, Moxie's currently at 40.
I think everyone else is slower, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and Moxie are probably booked ahead of everyone.
The next level we get, I will be taking in Rogue. I'll be a level 2 Rogue, and that's when I get Cunning Action, and I can bonus action dash.
Ooh,
Ooh,
very
fancy.
nice. Yeah, so you get to a safe area. You think is a safe area.
As we were running, Moxie just kind of like slapped her arm where she got hit and did healing hands, so she restored a couple more hit points.
Wonderful. The healing hands is the
Asmar
Asmar
thing. Yeah.
one. Yep. Because you got the healing hands and then the healing punches.
Yeah. The healing hands is like is nothing like the monk stuff that she does. It's like weird.
Yeah. It's nice. It's kind. It's like
Yeah. Not quite. It's not quite the healing punches that she wants to be doing.
Right.
You could still punch if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's true, but
Who
while
has
she's running, it's
Arcana?
hard to punch.
Who has Arcana proficiency?
I do.
Okay, roll me an Arcana check, both of you.
Well, that's another 25.
Oh my gosh.
Plus 8 on some of those intelligence skills.
Nice.
9.
9. So, Rexel, you recognize these creatures that were falling from the ceiling. You know them as piercers, a type of monstrosity that lies in waiting in caverns for prey to come below it, and then it falls, attempting to pierce creatures. Usually, they're piercing weaker creatures like the rats, the moles, the different things that are scurrying around here. But they're pretty indiscriminate, and so hitting you wasn't a instant threat, but if enough hit you, then boom, you're down, and the piercers get a nice feast. And I posted the information in our little group chat so that you can read up on them. And with what you know, this is what you know, or with that roll, this is what you know.
Okay.
And with that, we are actually going to go to break for 10 minutes. And then we will come back for some more shenanigans and fun times and danger and threats.
Oh
And
yeah.
Shenanigans.
Because I think producer Ryan is still here and able to take us to break. I hope.
Yes,
He
Oh
did-
no, he never came back from getting his food.
Oh no.
He did post that he got his food and like.
He's been posting a chat. He's here.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping. All right. So producer Ryan, take us out. Thanks for joining. And we are back again. Guess who's back?
Yeah.
Back again.
Back
Yeah.
again.
Back
Yes.
Yeah, you-
Hello,
Too much?
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
All right.
no.
Before we get back into the swing of things, I just did want to actually announce the winner of our dice giveaway on the Scryervision Twitter channel.
It's me, right?
Yes, it's totally you. No, that violates the terms and conditions. I think it's also illegal to like do that kind of. Anyway, yes, we have a dice giveaway, or have had a dice giveaway for quite some time. We have selected a winner. On Twitter, they go by Curious Adventure at @the adventure, and they are on Twitter, related to D&D, obviously. Don't know much about them. About her. We are still waiting on a reply from her on Twitter, but once we get that reply, then we'll get everything sorted out. Hopefully we'll get that reply soon. But if you're watching, you've won.
Yay.
Yay.
Anyway, we are going to get back into the swing of things. Before the break, the Team Reaper fought some eels, escaped the eels' water, fought some leeches, found some glowworms, and set up a tiny hut to sleep for the night, which was assaulted by some piercer monstrosities, a typical dungeon crawl monster. Luckily, it wasn't a roper. That would have been really bad.
In the notes, I did not hear what you said, so in the notes, they're all labeled as ropers, and now I'm having to go back and change them.
Oh, no, piercers, or dangerous, slimy things.
Dangerous slimy things.
Yes, that's how you should write it in the notes. Exactly that. But anyway, we are going to get back into the swing of things. The team has been walking through these tunnels, not really having to face anything else for another couple hours. Like I said, the first level, large and massive, so we're going to have a few different like time jumps where it's like, oh, it's been a couple hours of walking, meandering, talking to each other.
Raina is 100% still doing the.
Wonderful.
Umbrin is trying to whistle, but like his face wasn't built for it, so he's like,
I don't know how to do this. For those of you who took damage from the piercers, did you do any healing while you were walking? You can consider this time after the piercer encounter as a short rest too, if you needed to use any hit dice.
Oh, okay.
Just remember, keep track of the hit dice, because on a long rest you only get back half.
Yeah. Instead of that, if it counts as a short rest, I'm gonna use some key points to do. Where is it? I'll find it one day. Quickened healing.
Yep.
Because then I guess
that is a special monk ability that was introduced in Tasha's, right?
Yeah. So I only get back. If it's a short rest, I'm gonna do it twice. So I got back 4, and then I'll get back another 4, so that's 8, and I think that'll be good.
That's good. Braina, how about you?
Raina is 100% fantastic at this moment, so she's just tootling along, whistling, being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fight all the things. It's gonna be great."
Okay, who is in the front of the party?
Raina, 100%
Raina?
Raina. Yes.
Okay, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Should always be Moxie.
Is it something that I can see coming?
It is actually not at this time.
Lame. Let me look at what my advantage on dex saves like that you can see. Okay, it's dex saves that you can see while not incapacitated. Oh, lame. That's a 6.
You fall into a pit that was like, there was like shale rock over it, just this thin layer, and you actually fall into this 30-foot pit. And
Ouch.
you hit the ground. There's no spikes or anything, but you actually see like some skeletons around here, and you'll take 11 points of falling damage.
As a reaction, can Rexel cast Featherfall?
Yeah, so you don't take any damage. So would you like to describe how you cast the spell?
Yeah, so just seeing this, assuming Rexel can do this quick enough.
All of a sudden, Braina's just like, just like disappears.
And immediately slams a button, one of the like big glowing buttons on the central console, and this like wave of energy comes down from underneath the chair and through the legs, and suddenly everybody like floats for a second. And I would choose 5 creatures, so it's all of us, but Braina's the only one falling. So your descent slows. I don't know if that will stop you from falling into the pit, but
your descent
Superhero
slows.
landing.
You do a slow superhero landing. You got time to prep, and you land on the bottom.
As I land, I slam the hammer down, so it sounds like I made a bigger fall than I did.
Yeah.
Moxie definitely like leans over the edge and is like, "This is why I should have gone first."
Normally, I'm pretty good at avoiding shit like this.
You are. So the circumference of this hole is actually only 10 feet. Or not circumference, diameter is 10 feet. So it's a fairly small hole. It just seems to be something that's supposed to be meant as an inconvenience to you. And small damage.
Well, this is inconvenient.
And what small damage?
No damage, it's fine. Braina like spider climbs up the wall.
Do you spider climb?
I don't know. She's athletics. She's athletic-y, so she's
Okay.
like balancing or like wedging herself on the inside, like and climbing up that way.
Give me an athletics check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Because the walls are a little slick and smooth, and there's not really any good place to like get handholds or foot.
You want to
footholds.
row?
Yeah, right.
I have one.
14.
We all kind of like hold rope as we're like.
Do you want it, or are you just gonna? Nope, you're gonna
So-
Tarzan and climb up the side.
You get about halfway, trying to make your way up, but then you slip and you slide back down.
Dang it!
Rope
Yes.
now, or
Yes, please.
Canary will start lowering a rope.
Now I want everyone who is holding onto the rope and Braina. So everyone, roll an athletics check, and hope you don't roll terribly.
oh no,
30-20.
oof.
15.
8.
21.
12.
So, Rexel is like not helping at all. Braina, you're
Just kind of like hanging on to the rope.
Because his armor is the heaviest.
true.
So-
Yeah. You're
my
the
Needs to
end.
help, he just has to be there.
But my armor also like floats slightly, so as he pulls, it's not actually doing anything. The armor is just off the ground, not contributing at all.
Braina, you're able to hold onto the rope real firmly. Canary, you're contributing a little bit. Umbrin, you're helping. You're digging in. But then it's really Moxie who like puts the brunt of the effort in. You flex a little bit. You're like, I got this. And then you grab.
No problems here.
You spit into your hands, grab the rope, and then you're just like with one big yank from Moxie. Braina, you're up.
She's like, yeah, nice job, and like high five.
They high five, of course.
Yes.
Yes. Are these traps?
Two very buff ladies.
Are these traps meant to wear down your spell slots? Whittle down your health for an eventual encounter? Who knows?
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
You know,
Man,
I really
cool.
thought they wouldn't announce that out loud every time.
It's
Ben really has a
Just
thing
say,
for
"Did we
just
hear that?"
announcing it.
It's not for us, it's for the people at home.
for the people at home. It's for the audience. You can't hear Finn Alpine's announcer voice. The audience can.
Hmm.
It looks like Team Reaper has taken quite a fall.
Perhaps it would be wisest for myself to go first to check for traps as we go. Just so we don't get stuck wasting another 20 minutes. Oh, I take my watch off to check how long that took. Another 20 minutes falling into holes. So I'm going to check for traps as we keep walking. For a 23.
Yeah, so as you keep walking, you actually do find a couple of tripwires that you're like, you cut it, you make sure that you disable a tripwire trap. You find a pressure plate that you actually dig your dagger under and you pop out so that the pressure plate doesn't activate. You find a few, and as the rogue with that high perception, you manage to dismantle a lot of dangers that might have come your way. And then
You can't tell me though that those would have been fun to trip just to see if they do.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have been fun because you would have gotten hurt and we would have had to stop again. We don't know how many teams have already made it out of here.
Oh, they can't be faster than us.
I don't know.
I don't know if we all started at the same circumference around the sphere or if some people were closer to the exit or not. But it's just best to keep moving and not stop to trigger traps for fun.
Well, okay, I agree there.
Moxie, roll me a d20.
Okay. A 19.
You see a door,
Oh.
a wooden door, just ahead on the side of the cavern. It seems so out of place. Why is that there? Next to the door is this magical looking, like with runes and sigils and arcane glyphs all around it with a handprint on it. You know that this is the first challenge room that you have stumbled across.
So Moxie's gonna be like, I think I found the challenge room. Yeah! And then kind of like run over there. But not put her hand on yet. Like she wants to, but she's not going to. Until we're all kind of around.
Finn Alpine voice. As you may not be aware, when a team finds the challenge room, all they have to do is place their hand on the access panel to activate the room. Then they can open the door, and once they pass through the threshold, they are locked in until the challenge is completed. But it is their choice to enter the challenge or not. They don't know what is inside, but they do know that the greater the risk, the greater the danger, the greater the reward. And those rewards will give them an advantage to fight the exit guardian. Now let's see what Team Reaper does.
Brina has just been slowly inching towards it.
Everyone in the chat is saying, do it, do it, do it, touch
If she
it,
gets,
push it.
As she gets too close, Moxie will just swat her hand and be not yet.
The challenge room, we should go. Get it done. Get some stuff.
I mean, we almost got our behinds handed to us by a bunch of eels. I think we're gonna need some help with this guardian.
Yeah, it does seem more probably a good idea to go in. I mean, I think I have some good spells for today.
That's for the first one. I feel like it's a good idea to get, like to show our stuff. Besides just with eels, to get stuff sent to us, right?
Yeah.
Eli's on my side. No, of course. Rewards are worth it. I know I just went on about wasting time, but
Well, I think it was a valid point for testing traps, but this actually gives something, right?
yeah, no. Challenges and rewards are good.
Alright, who's gonna go first?
Brina's all up in there unless you guys stop her.
And
We've all agreed she won't stop her anymore.
if you weren't aware, the entire team challenges the room together. Just in case you all weren't aware. You all have to go Okay, so Moxie, are you placing your hand on it?
No, Brina's going to.
Oh, Brina is.
Yeah,
Okay.
she stopped swatting Brina's hand so she could do it.
Well, I want to touch it. No. I want to. No. Okay, Brina, do you place your hand on it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay, as you place your hand on it, the panel, the outline of the hand glows around you. It actually like forms slowly, and then the sigils glow. And the stone archway of the door also glows with sigils, and the door opens before you. You see a shimmering energy field in the threshold of the door, and you know that once you step through this shimmering energy field, you cannot leave.
Is there any preparation we want to do before we go in?
Everybody's at full health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's go. Umbran walks through the door.
Brina is close behind.
Brena, Umbren, who's next?
Rexella will go last.
Moxie will go in straight in the middle. So she'll go after Umbren.
Canary and Vrexel, you were waiting outside as the other three have gone in. You look at each other.
Canary shakes her head and it's just like, what are we getting ourselves into? And heads in, already clutching her holy symbol.
She just hears Moxie through the door. Get in here, Canary!
I'm coming! And she just turns in.
And then Vrexel follows close behind. As you go through the door, it is a short hallway until you enter a room. The room you enter appears similar to the entrance of a temple, with marble features, golden trim, and a series of parallel waterfalls that stream in from outside the temple and into pools below. You see palm trees rising out of the stone ground near these streams. And in the center of this room is a large domed area, like a raised point in the ceiling. And the air is hot, the air is humid. And in the center, up on this large dais, is a circular platform with a single stone bridge that leads to it. And on this central platform, there is a large basin made of stone with several runes across it. That is what you can see so far.
What's like the overall size of this room?
The overall size of this room is pretty spacious, actually. You feel the hot, humid air, and you actually are a little confused because you can actually see through different points, and you see sunlight, blue sky. It's completely changed, as if you had stepped into this in an open air temple. And so there's not, to you it feels like it might even be larger beyond this, even if it is an illusion. But this general area, this platform is 30 feet around, but the actual room appears to be around 120 feet in diameter.
Are there any clear marks about like who this temple might be to? Or is it just kind of a just standard temple dedicated to a god?
Roll me a religion check.
That's a 10.
You can tell that there are different symbols and monikers and things that might be for a deity or some sort of faith, but you're not sure which one.
Yeah, I have no clue. It seems familiar and kind of right on the tip of my tongue, but they don't really, I don't know. Rexel, did you read anything about beachy temples?
Have I read anything about beachy temples?
Roll me a religion check.
It's 19.
19. You begin looking at these symbols and different emblems and such, and you begin to think that you're pinning down what this could be. You're thinking that this might actually be a temple or a replica of a temple to the god known as Savras, god of divination and fate,
Okay.
whose domain is knowledge.
So Rexel probably is familiar with those, and like, oh, I've seen some of these with the Temple of Denir, the one back home. Fate, knowledge, things like that. Not sure how that's going to help us here, but I could try a detect magic. It'll take me a minute though.
While Rexel starts to detect magic, Umbrin is going to go examine the runes on the basin.
All right. What languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Thieves' Cant, Deep Speech. That's it.
You don't recognize this language, you're not sure what it says.
Moxie is going to follow Umbrin and like take a look at them as well.
And what languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, and Celestial.
It's in Celestial.
What is so she's like looking at it, and then what does it say?
You see different words written in Celestial. They're not sentences. It's more like words, phrases, mantras. Some of the words talk about memories, loss, regrets.
Okay. So Moxie would start like looking at him and be like, "Oh, memories, loss." It's talking about maybe loss here and some regret. And she like looks at Umbrin to like get confirmation.
I'm so sorry. I speak the language of mind flayers and eldritch abominations. I don't know much Celestial.
Moxie's gonna go,
It's
"It's
you."
Celestial?"
Yeah, it is Celestial.
And she's just gonna kind of like look down at it again and shrug, because like she doesn't remember learning Celestial at the monastery, but like doesn't also really know where she learned it. She can just kind of read it. So she's like,
Is there anything in the basin?
When you get closer to the basin and you look into it, there's a silvery liquid that reaches to the very edges of the basin's container. The silvery liquid is reflective, almost mirror-like. When you look into it, you actually see almost a distorted version of your face. And it doesn't ripple, it doesn't do anything other than just remain motionless. But it doesn't, the way that the surface tension holds against the sides of this basin, you can tell it's a liquid.
I have an idea, but I don't think Brain has
almost
any clue.
mercurial in nature.
I was gonna say drink it, but now I'm not gonna say drink it.
I think Brenda would drink it if somebody said it, so don't say it. I think I have an idea what it might be, but I'm not 100%. I don't think Brenda has any clue.
With my proficiency with alchemist supplies, would I be able to tell what this?
Oh,
might
you have
be?
alchemist supplies.
I do.
Yeah. There's some things with your alchemist supplies that you can utilize to do some tests. And so to do a test with a alchemist supplies, I will need you to do an intelligence check and then add your proficiency. Your intelligence modifier and proficiency.
Okay, so it's gonna be a +5 to whatever this is.
See, the alchemist supplies came in handy.
I told you. I've never forgotten that night I needed alchemist supplies. I wasn't proficient and I couldn't save my brother. That's a different game.
Wonderful.
Herman, if you're watching this, Corvallis
Herman.
never forgot. 14. Sorry, distracted.
You recognize this as a special type of liquid. You're like taking a little dropper. You're like squirting a little bit. It's dripping. There's like some steam, different like, and you recognize this as a special substance called quicksilver. But you can't quite remember what it does.
Okay, well, we have some confirmation of what it is, which is helpful. It looks to be quicksilver. Would I know it's also called mercury and it is poisonous?
It's actually a magical type of quicksilver. So it's not mercury. It is something different than that. Because I did not know that quicksilver and mercury were the same thing.
Oh, they are! And now you know.
Yes.
Dev has to change the puzzle quickly.
No, it's magical quicksilver.
Alright.
There was a magic card that is called Quicksilver Amulet or something, and that's like bloop.
I am gonna fill a vial with it and put it into my alchemist supplies.
As you touch it
Uh-oh.
and break the surface, the liquid ripples and begins coagulating and creating a form, and a big chunk of this liquid actually jumps out and lands near you, facing you. It begins forming into limbs, a head, a torso, and suddenly before you see this almost like mercurial humanoid looking type being. But then this liquid begins solidifying and the tone begins to adjust, and you see eyes forming and hair forming, and the eyes are dark, the teeth are white, and the skin is pale, and this figure is staring right at you. Doesn't move. It's about 5'7". Looks masculine in nature, and just staring back at you.
I remove my vial away from it. I'm like, I apologize. I did not have sinister implications. It is yours, I understand, and you may keep it. I will
There is
put
no
my
need
vial back.
to apologize.
Oh, you talk. You speak common.
Yes. And so do you.
I do.
It takes a step closer to you. Tilts his head
I
a little
look
bit.
to my team for input on what's going on.
Then its eyes shift from your eyes to your chest, to your core, where the Shadowfell
Cover my
shard, where your Shadowfell shard dwells. It looks downstairs right where that is located and looks back up at you.
Okay, I think I'm gonna. This has been lovely, and it's been wonderful to meet you. I think I'm
Tell
going
me.
to go.
What memories do you have of me?
Of who? You?
Of
This
me.
is our first meeting.
No, it isn't.
No?
I have been with you from the start.
No, I don't think I know you. I'm sorry.
It takes another step closer to you, and then gestures to the basin. Drink from the basin, and you will know all.
Oh, I don't.
Your
drink.
questions will be answered, and you will no longer
Can I roll an insight
feel
check?
lost. Yeah,
Again. Alright.
you will know all the mysteries that plague you will be revealed, and you could stay here with me forever if you drink from the basin.
17. Does this guy sound like he's trying to poison me by drinking from this basin?
He's definitely trying to tempt you. Or you can kill me, learn nothing, know nothing, and then be able to leave this room.
Yes,
But-
leaving sounds preferable.
Then he steps closer to you again. Kill me.
Okay.
He no longer looks silvery or anything. He looks humanoid. He looks like a human. Nothing else really stands out about him. He's just an average person, average robes, except his black eyes.
And we all just kind of see this average human standing there.
Do you know him? He seems like he knows you.
His head turns to Brayna, and his form begins shifting and changing. And Brayna,
Right.
you see the form of your lost brother standing before you. Brayna.
Andrew, what are you doing? Wait, what? And
Brayna.
Brayna's very confused.
What? Where am I?
What?
Where?
What?
I don't reckon I understand where I'm at.
Brayna is like fully crying at this moment.
He begins stepping closer to Brayna.
Kanari will step right in front of her.
Brayna, if you drink from the basin, we could be together again. Forever.
Brayna, it's not real. It's not
Yeah,
real.
He steps
Give me one
closer.
second.
Forever. Together. You could save me.
Brayna is fully starting to walk forward at this moment.
Or you
are
can
you
kill me again and watch me die again to leave this room.
Kanari's gonna cast Moonbeam.
Ooh.
As
Ooh.
the light flashes above and a beam of moonlight rains down onto it, this form of Andrew, Brayna's dwarven brother, begins screaming, and its form begins shifting back into this like silvery mercurial humanoid before its very essence begins shaking, and then it falls and splashes all across the ground, and this mercury liquid just begins flowing in these crevices on the platform, and then into the water as this creature, whatever it was, disappears, goops away, and disappears. And then as you look into the basin, the silvery liquid begins shaking some more, and it begins shrinking. And then now in the basin is a small little figurine of a silver raven.
At this point, I would assume Rexel's detect magic has completed. I'd like to walk forward and see what kind of vibes this raven is giving off.
And it's definitely giving off some vibes. Bloop, 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 as like your detect magic sensors go off. And if you were to probe closer, you would recognize the magic within as transmutation magic.
Okay. It's some kind of transfigurating, morphing thing. Obviously, I think we should be careful.
Well, that seems to have been a challenge. Do you think this is the reward?
I don't know.
Should we touch it?
Well, I seem to be all about touching things today.
Well-
Umbrin will pick it up and hope it doesn't turn into another creepy man.
It just, as you pick it up, it just feels like a metal silver statuette, very smooth. It warms up. It doesn't warm up in your touch. You don't produce heat. It would, but it appears as just to be this like statuette of a silver raven.
Why don't...
Umbrin will turn back to look at the door that they came through. Is it there? Is it back? Is it open?
And when you had left the door, it actually closed behind you and disappeared. But when you look back, the door is once again there and open.
Well, Canary MVP of the first challenge. As such, I think you should hold on to this. And Umbrin will walk over and hold out the raven for Canary.
I think Canary is kind of avoiding eye contact with Brayna.
Brayna is fully, like, crouched down on the ground, arms around her legs at this moment.
Why don't... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, why don't we just keep it in the bag of holding for now, and we can identify it when we're out, breasting. Freyna, I'm sorry.
I need to hide my face. I'm smiling way too much at this emotional trauma. I'm sorry for the trauma on episode 1.
It's your fault, Dev. We blame you.
Actually, it's Meg's fault for rolling the d20. These rooms are random.
Well, that just assumes that the other, 19 numbers weren't going to be just as traumatic. So
yeah,
I think we started at Trauma City.
Yeah.
Yes. But Brayna says she like breathes deep for a couple beats, and she's like, "It wasn't real. It's okay. It's okay." And she's not looking at anyone at this moment.
If this is a challenge room and that was the challenge, why don't we take a minute? I can identify this right now, actually, and just kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. I think we could use a second.
Yes, perhaps a short rest so Brayna could recover from the
emotional trauma
psychic damage.
Yeah.
I think Umbrin does not know anything was wrong, that anything happened. He does not know why Brayna is on the floor and fluids are weeping from her face. That's a new thing for him.
Why are you leaking?
Fluid.
This is the first time Umbrin's seen anyone cry.
Oh, wow.
Assuming that Brayna's crying. Brayna, are you crying?
Oh, she's 100%. She's been
Okay,
crying since Andrew showed up. So yes.
Wonderful.
Rexella will take the statue and just kind of go off to sort of be away and kind of let that happen, and we'll ritual cast Identify on this object.
After 10 minutes of ritually casting Identify, doing your preparations, poking it with your like different tools and whatnot, you recognize this as a figurine of wondrous power, specifically the Silver Raven.
Cool. Walks back to Canary. How's she doing? Is she doing okay?
Seems to be. I mean, it's just. I think it.
We should get going, shan't we? Let's go. Let's keep moving. We don't want to slow down too much.
Okay. And Canary will take it from Rexella and kind of nod and just start walking away.
As you leave the room, the door swings shut behind you, and then the runes that were glowing go, and it seemingly deactivates, awaiting the next team to cross its path. What would you like to do now?
I guess we continue down our like only path.
Yeah, let's keep going.
As you continue through your path, you actually come to a sort of circular cavern with 3 different exits opposite of the entrance into it. The cavern doesn't have anything of note, just the 3 tunnels that exist before you.
What does that thing do?
It lets us summon a small little raven and can act as a messenger for us if we need anything. Or if we want to maybe even try establishing communications with the other teams.
And this is to help with the exit guardian.
Right. Maybe it's something that relies on sound. Something that we'd need to talk between each other.
Maybe.
Not the rewards aren't always geared towards assisting with the exit guardians. Finn Alpine says to the audience. No, every reward can help in some way, but it can help with the exit guardian, or it can help with the other teams that you might run into, or other creative uses that might give you advantages in this competition. Finn Alpine, the announcer, says to the audience.
He lied. He said help with the exit guard.
Well, it'll definitely help. It's just how it helps is up to you.
Well, do we have a
Sorry.
have a way in which we'd like to go in these 3 paths? Anyone have a preference or a way to figure out which one might lead somewhere good?
We could folder parchment cheers for it. Perhaps a survival check by someone with more than 2 wisdom.
Yeah, if you wanted to do a survival check to determine if you can sense anything beyond these 3 tunnels, go ahead.
That's your...
Survival or perception. Perception can be used for sights or sounds.
Oh.
I can do a perception check.
Sure.
So I got a 21.
So you go from each tunnel, and just trying to sense like what's coming down from what you can pick up from each of these. And the furthest tunnel to the left, which we'll label as tunnel number 1, has a almost frigid air coming from it. It's a chill, brisk breeze that almost makes your skin have goosebumps as it hits you. The next tunnel seems to have a dry, temperate air. Not a lot of humidity coming from it. The wind is blowing in your face, and it seems a lot more pleasant in terms of temperature than tunnel number 1. And lastly, the tunnel number 3 isn't cold, but it does feel a little bit more humid, the air that's coming from that. And so as you kind of like lick your tongue, like put your finger up, listen for some sounds, you get that information from the 3.
So it kind of seems like they all lead to sort of different new areas. So do we want to go to somewhere cold, somewhere dry, or somewhere humid?
I've been wet plenty today. I think we should go to the dry one.
I'm okay with that. I'd rather not go to the cold, but that's just me.
I have no preferences on temperature.
Does anybody have any special advantages against heat or cold spells they have ready?
I didn't prepare it today. I have access to one, but I'd need a long rest to do anything with it.
I mean, I can punch in any weather, so.
I can punch in any weather.
That's Moxie's catchphrase. Slogan on the back of her jacket.
I'll write it down.
Writing it down.
Dry and temperate then?
All right, try it in.
Yes,
I
go
cannot
with
do.
Bally's choice.
Not good. That's a 10.
10 for what?
I checked for traps.
Oh. So as you're making your way through, despite your 10, there actually aren't any traps along this way. You don't trigger any, at least. And you find yourselves in a new area of the dungeon that is there's crystals in the ceiling that kind of replicate the light ambiance of a sun. Just a warm glow from above. And you see a field of tall grass before you. The tall grass is almost 3.5 feet in height, almost like rolling waves. And this is a very large field. It appears to be maybe a mile across just to get through. But it's warm, it's temperate, and the warmth and the dry heat appears to be coming from the crystal in the ceiling.
How high up are these ceilings?
The ceiling is about 120 feet up above you.
Wonder if you detached one of those crystals off the wall, if they would still continue to make sunlight.
I bet with a push I could get up there.
I can do that. I'm ready.
Maybe an experiment for later.
Okay.
Let's continue.
So we walking through this field then?
Yep.
I suppose so.
Hopefully we don't have to check anyone for ticks after this, but
First leeches and now ticks.
So you begin making your way through. The tall grasses brush up against your form. As you get a little bit further, you're noticing that the grasses are actually getting a little bit taller, now about 4 feet. So luckily Rexel has a spider bot to utilize. But it is covering most of you.
It is 100% all the way up to Brayna's chin.
Yeah,
Moxie's just like walking along.
This is great.
she's gonna turn around and look behind her and she can't see any of the team.
Yeah, right. Where did everyone go?
And I want everyone to roll me a perception check.
Ooh. Dirty 20.
18.
8.
And
21.
All right, so everyone who rolled over a 16, you're seeing movement in the grasses.
Brayna continues on obliviously.
Moxie's just gonna kind of like hold out a hand and stop her a second.
You're starting to notice that the grasses are shaking a little bit. And who rolled over a 20?
I got 21.
Moxie, your instincts are like firing off. You got like a crazy spidey sense going on. You're like, we're in danger. And you look around, you start doing like a 360 turn, and you're starting to realize that you're being surrounded by something.
Oh geez, we're being surrounded, guys. I'm pretty sure.
What Rexel says is he like runs into Moxie because he's like.
Now I need everyone to roll initiative once again.
Oh, balls.
Oh yeah.
Moxie has advantage on this.
Oh yeah, thank you.
All right. Did anyone roll over a 20?
20 total.
20 total. Okay.
Not over 20.
And what? Or did anyone roll between a 15 to 19?
Moxie rolled a 19.
All right. How about 10 through 14?
10 for Umbrin.
10 for Umbrin. And Kanara, what'd you get?
An 8.
Braino, what'd you get?
6.
Oh no.
Don't
Wow,
be
we
balls.
really were surprised by that.
Absolute balls. It's fine.
Rexel, it is your turn. You were not surprised because your perception checks were good. So you know that there's something surrounding you. However, you don't have any visuals on it.
Oh, my perception check was an 8. I know nothing.
Well, I mean, like as a
In
group.
general.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, with no idea what's happening, Rexel will just send his hummingbird up into the air, and uses bonus action to command it to fly towards and attack anything that it can see from a higher vantage point. And that's all he can do. He knows he's got no other vantage point to go from.
Right. By the way, we're gonna just do theater of mind with this one, or we don't need a battle map for what's happening.
Okay. It has dark vision up to 60 feet, so if it goes up, obviously I can't see through it, but does it start to go towards anyone?
It sees the shaking of the grasses. Do you want it to swoop into the grass to see if it can get a visual?
I would have told it, if you see something, try and attack it. So I don't know. I don't have like active piloting of it, so whatever it sees.
All right.
In that circumstance.
So it can't see anything because the grasses are so tall.
Yeah.
And now it's Moxie's turn.
So we have like, does she have any idea of kind of where it might be, or is it just kind of all the grasses moving around? And
they seem to be moving in various different parts. The speed is a little disjarring. There's definitely some. It's not pack instincts that are happening, but there's definitely this ambush predator that ambush predatory sort of movements. And from what you could tell just looking around, especially since you're taller, they are closing in, and each of them are about 30 feet away from each of you.
okay, so can I just ready an action, or like hold my action until like ready to attack if something attacks me?
Yep. Which attack are you gonna hold? Quarterstaff or unarmed strike?
Quarter. Yeah, so she's got the staff ready to sort of attack once something comes at.
All right.
Yep, that'll be it.
You ready your action. And suddenly behind you, a creature leaps out of the brush, out of these grasses, and right at Umbrin. You all are within 5 feet of each other right now, by the way. Just
Okay.
for Braina's help. To help Braina with your ancestral guardian stuff. You're all close together. What you see is this small little, almost demonic looking bird creature. Chicken like, with leathery wings, sharp beak. It's very small. It's definitely smaller than Rexel. And it's screaming and it jumps at Umbrin and attempts to bite you. Umbrin, that is actually a 19.
Oh, I want a shield. Yeah, Yeah,
You
let's
know-
shield.
You know it's gonna hit you. So as it's flying, its wings spreading out, it actually hits your shield, and then slides off. It begins hissing at you, its arms raised, and then 5 more leap out.
Oh, jeez.
Gross.
One of these is going to go at Rexel.
Oof.
Rexel, you were a little bit prepared just because you had like an eye from above looking down, so this attack will actually miss you. And then Braina, 2 are actually going to jump at you.
Brr.
You're able to block 1 with your shield, but the other one actually manages to get a bite on you. Which will be 5 piercing damage, and then I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, is this against poison?
It is not against poison.
Oh, fuck balls. That is an 8.
Did you add your modifiers?
Yup, I in fact did
Oh,
do
no.
that thing.
Oh, no.
I rolled a 2 on the dice.
From where you were bitten, your skin begins turning to stone.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And you are considered restrained.
Cool. Cool. Love it. This is great. Everything's fine.
Moxie, 1 jumps at you, but you get to use your attack.
Aw, yeah. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. That's no, 13.
A 13 will hit.
Yeah. That's for 7 damage.
All right.
And do I get to do anything else since I attacked, or
It is just your
No,
reaction.
it's just the one
unfortunately.
attack? Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure.
All right. 1 second. I am marking down which of these is which. Luckily, each of your initials, like your first initial, is different, so I actually can just like do it and assign which monster attacks you. So that's good.
So much easier than when everyone decides to name themselves the same thing, right?
Yeah. Vane,
Don't you dare
Vox,
bring up other games in this one.
Vex.
I already did.
Anyway, it still is gonna get an attack on you. Does a 17 hit?
Meats.
Meets, okay. Meets beats, so you will need to make a Constitution saving throw as well, and you'll take 5 damage. Piercing.
Okay. Let me go ahead and
Kanari,
do.
you were also gonna get hit because these things are rolling great apparently. So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, and you'll take 5 points of damage.
I got a dirty 20.
Wow.
Then you're fine. It rolled a 19 on Kanari, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
Damn.
for it. Natural 20.
Okay, you're fine.
Yay.
And then I've attacked everyone, right? Rexel got a miss,
Mhm.
Brandon got attacked. Okay, and now it's Umbrin's turn.
There's 6 of these things.
Yes. They're small. They don't look particularly strong. They seem to be these type of creatures that get an ambush, get an attack off real quick, and then like what's happening to Braina, just wait till they get petrified.
All right.
Rude.
No, I think I'm going to bonus action. I'm going to take out my dagger, and then I'm going to spin it and bonus action cast Shadow Blade around the dagger itself.
All
which
right.
is how I always cast it.
A dark shadowy blade lurches upwards from your dagger, and it seems to just like blend with the shadowy magics that come from your ball joints and from within your core.
And then am I able to get, well, one of these is right in front of me, so would that mean
Yep.
an ally's also within 5 feet of it?
Yes.
Awesome, cool. All right, so then I'm going to attempt to hit it with my green flame blade.
Mhm.
17?
17 will hit.
Awesome.
So-
So it is going to take.
You're telling me that you did a sorcery point to bonus action Shadow Blade, right?
Nope.
Oh, Shadow Blade's
Blade
just
is
a.
a bonus action.
Oh, dang. That's such a good combo with Green Flame Blade.
Alright.
Ugh.
It's really good. So that's Shadow Blade gets 2d8
Yes.
plus the sneak attack's 1d6
Yes.
plus the Green Flame Blade 1d8. So that's 3d8.
Yes. And you know what? Just for to add a little like zhush, let's say that there are 2 other cockatrices. Oh, these are cockatrices, by the way. Other 2 monsters are within 5 feet of the one you're attacking.
So that means the flames jump from the Green Flame Blade to one next to it. So
Yep.
the 2 on the side are both going to take 7 points of fire damage. And
You
the
said
one
7?
7, yeah. It's
Nice.
the ability spellcasting modifier.
Let's say that it is one of them is the one against Rexel and the other one is the one against Canary.
So then this one in front of me is going to take math 17.
I'm scared, actually.
And do you add the 7 to? It's so much math. Yeah. Let me tell you, Umbran is built for combat. Combat
wonderful.
ready. This level. Target fire damage second creature. 1d8 per creature. Oh no! It takes the one fire damage to the second creature. Oh, so it only drops 2, 8. So 1 creature. So one of them will take 1d8 plus my spell mod.
Okay.
But the one in front of me took. Stick up my dice. Oh my god, I'm a mess. All right, so 11 points to the one in front of Rexel, and it's gonna take. That's a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 2.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
it's gonna take 8 points, which is way worse than the first time I rolled it, but I forgot what numbers I had because I picked up all my dice.
All right,
But
so
that's what
8 points
happens when
total,
you
right?
number. Yeah, so 8
Psychic,
points.
fire, pierce. No, the sneak attack adds to the psychic. So psychic and fire.
That is a combo. Oh my god.
Such a good combo.
The first one I had rolled an 8, a 6, a 3, and a 1,
Whoa.
which would have been
And-
way more than 8 damage.
Holy.
Now it's Canary's turn.
That would have been 18, but whatever. That's what happens when you pick up your dice when you're not paying attention.
All of them are still standing, right?
Yes.
Great. That'll make this even better. I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians.
Oh.
Yay!
So a bunch of spirits come kind of flying out of Canari's holy symbol.
What do the spirits look like?
There are a bunch of little stars,
Oh.
a bunch of different like constellations and everything like that. So
I definitely need to meet Wendell as librarians.
yes. So it's just like a bunch of flying little constellations, like the Big Dipper, Little Dipper. There's Lyra and Cygnus, and like all of those really fun constellations just swirling around.
Because the world of the Magisterium obviously has the same constellations.
You didn't supply me anything, so this is what we're going with.
Didn't ask.
Well,
You know what?
We'll,
Now I'm
we'll
gonna come up with
retcon
the
it.
most ridiculous constellations.
Great. We'll retcon it then. Yeah, but a bunch of these come flying around, and we'll bonk anybody on the head. That's
At the
within
start of their
15
turn.
feet. Yep.
They're all within 15 feet.
Great. They're all getting bonked.
All right. That means that Canari's turn is done, and it is Braina's turn. Braina, you are restrained, which means you can't move and you have disadvantage on your attacks.
Cool. Is anybody flanking with me on these?
No.
The one that I want to hit? No? Okay. Cool. Oh, fuck me, like hardcore. That is 2 1s on the first attack.
Oh no!
no.
2 1s?
Yes,
I need to
Yeah,
make
hey.
something bad happen.
You'd hate to see it.
I am having a great battle, guys.
You
Brayna
actually,
Brayna is still emotionally traumatized. Everything's fine.
you are
He's, like,
actually
bawling.
going to fall prone as you're having a difficult time with your new, like, with the stone creeping along you. You fall prone.
Sorry, Ryan. Okay. So I have 0 movement, so I'm gonna swing from the ground. 9 plus 8, 17
That hits.
to hit. For 4 plus 5 is 9. And then I'm going to bonus action rage because I definitely remember to do that.
Right.
And then I'm going to try to not be petrified.
So 9 plus 2, right?
No, I didn't rage.
Oh, you didn't rage.
I raged
Oh,
after the fact.
I thought we were doing it like retroactively.
I sure can if you would let me, but otherwise.
I am a very lenient DM in that way because I think your character would know to rage.
She would be freaking pissed.
Yes.
Yes.
Melissa might forget, but your character probably wouldn't.
Yes, she would be pissed. Okay, so she's raging, so 11 damage, and
We'll consider that going to number 1.
It's
Number
the
1
one
and
that
number 2
it's
are
the
on
one
it.
that bit her. She's like,
Yep.
the
All
one
right.
that actually bit her. She hit. Okay, and then a con save to not be petrified forever.
Correct.
Natural 20.
Oh, I thought that was a bad, like, no!
Yeah, right?
I thought that was another F-bomb coming.
Oh.
The stone, you begin, like, you feel the ancestors that popped out while you raged, and one of them actually comes to you and says, "Oh, I got something for that, sweetie." And
Thanks, Great Grandma Lena.
she
I
just
needed
leans
it.
down and she just kisses your wounds. And then, like, the
Aw.
petrification ends as it retreats back.
Ghost
I
grandma
saved that
magic.
for- I made sure that I had an extra splash of magic in it.
Somebody needs to have a whole family tree that they just like keep updated.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Well,
We can always rewatch to put it together.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to write all these down now because.
Brenna, how many grandmas you got in there?
Well, the first one we met was Grandpa Johan,
Johan.
and then we have Great Grandma Lena. I could I think she's got at least one grandparent still alive, so they're not going to be there. But
And a drunken uncle. Everyone has a drunken uncle.
oh, there's definitely a drunken uncle in.
They're
in
dwarves.
there.
They're all.
There's probably
Everyone's the drunken uncle.
Now it is Rexel's turn.
We're all drunken uncles now.
With how these creatures are arranged around us, how many could I hit with a 10-foot sphere without hitting any of my friends?
2 of them.
2 of them?
Mhm.
I will go ahead and do that. I'm going to cast Shatter up kind of in the air, trying to keep it away from all of my friends, but placed centrally, trying to hit 2 of them.
All right. Do you want to go against the ones that are next to Moxie and Kanari, or the ones that are next to you and Umbrin, or the 2 that are next to Brayna?
The 2 next to Brayna.
All right. They both fail.
Nice. All right. So that is 3d8.
Also, these are cockatrices, so the petrification would have only been 24 hours, not forever.
Yeah, but still, someone would have to pick her up and carry her through the field.
That would have been great. That would have been a great, like,
Brayna has no idea about how long it would
roleplay.
last.
That would have been a great roleplay moment. I'm kind of disappointed.
That's 10 points of thunder damage to 2 of them.
Okay, one of them just pops, just like it gets hit, and then just like just pops and thrown back into the grasses. You hear a and then the other one doesn't pop, but it definitely takes a decent amount of damage.
And would these be considered simple beasts
They are monstrosities.
or smaller beasts? Okay, monstrosities.
You're aware of that.
Okay. Then bonus action will tell Soren to start bothering the one that's near me with an attack on the servant's turn.
All right, so your homunculus servant is gonna attack, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that is +4.
Your homunculus servant can actually position itself to flank with whatever one it's attacking.
Oh, right. Cool, because that was a 12. That is a 17.
A 12 would have hit.
Oh, cool.
So you got it.
All right, so 4 points of force damage.
Which one?
The one, I think there's just one in front of me, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so the one in front of me.
Okay, it's not dead, but it's not looking good.
Yeah. Is it
All
for me?
right. Yes, and it is now their turn.
They have to make. Oh, what is it?
Wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Very familiar with spirit guardians, darling. Go ahead and roll the damage as I roll their wisdom saving throws. And the DC was 16, right?
15.
15? Okay, so the one on Braina fails, the one on Moxie fails, the one on Kanari fails, the one on Rexel fails, the one on Umbrin fails.
Wonderful. They all take 10 points of radiant damage.
All right. So the one that was on Braina gets hit with one of the stars, which just passes through it like a bullet, and it falls. The one next to Rexel, same thing. It just passes through it, shoots like a meteor bullet right through it, and it falls.
Nice.
And then they attack. One on Moxie. That's a 18.
Yeah.
And that will be 2 points of damage, and I need another Constitution saving throw. And
13.
13 succeeds. You're fine. Kanari, there was still one on you, right? Or did that one die?
I think you said the one that was on Braina poofed.
That
and
one
then...
died, yep.
One
Alright.
in front of me poofed, you thought you said.
Yep. The one
Yeah.
that is on Kanari is still gonna go at you, but that is only a 15. I don't think that hits.
Nope.
And then the one that is on Umbrin will also miss. And now it is Umbrin's turn.
All right. Still doing the combo.
Yeah, these little
Did we
chicken.
skip Moxie?
Yeah. Quick question. I think I was supposed to go before the.
I did skip Moxie. I got really excited
go
to
Moxie.
do the Spirit Guardians.
Yeah, I understand. Spirit Guardians are really fun.
Yeah.
Should I just go now or?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So there's one that's close to me. I'm
Yep.
confused about which. Okay.
There's one right
I'm
in
just
front of
gonna go
you, Kanari, and Umbrin.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the one in front of me with my quarterstaff, maybe.
They're
That's
hissing at
a
you.
22.
22 will hit.
And then that would be 6 damage.
6 damage.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I'll go ahead and send a key point and do Fury of Blows. So that's another 22 to hit.
Bam.
And that is, oh goodness, 9 points of damage.
Okay, you get to kill it. How would you like to do
Yeah. So she like hit it with the quarterstaff with one hand and then just came up from like underneath and like clocked it right in the jaw and like
that? All right.
just sent it flying
Its
as a dead
beak
corpse.
just like shatters a little bit, and then it just flops to the side. And then you said you used Flurry of Blows, right?
Yeah.
You have one more attack.
So the one in front of Kanari is I think the closest probably to me.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and then she'll just go to punch that one. And that's another 22.
Yeah. Can you roll less than a 3?
No.
Okay.
Well, on the 6 I can because that's only 6 damage.
But then you add your dexterity, right?
That's with the damage. Like that's with my dex, yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so it's
you get to kill it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then she punches the one and then immediately like goes to the side and just like side punches the other one out from in front of Kanari.
Like Thor not Thor, like Hulk in the Avengers movie when Thor's right next to him and he just like doesn't look.
Yeah, and he just
bang.
like punches. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happens.
It just flies off into the grasses.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
And now it's Umbrin's turn.
All right, one last.
Yes, the one in front of you.
All right, I'm going to throw my dagger at it.
Okay, the shadow blade goes.
Oh. Oh.
Rolled a 1.
That's a 1.
Oh no.
That was a 1.
Thought you had advantage for some reason.
If Kanari had her Twilight Dome up, I would.
Right. That's okay. It just flies off, but you can use a bonus action to recall it to you, right?
Can I?
I forget. But you miss.
A good question. Yeah, that's a miss. I don't have anything else I can do.
Okay, Kanari.
Cool. It's just the one that's left right in front of us, right? Or right in front of Umbrin. Kanari's gonna throw a Toll the Dead at it. So wisdom save of 15.
Rolled a 1.
Great. 13 points of necrotic damage.
All right. As you hear the bell toll, ding, this cockatrice actually begins to just crumble and then falls to the ground. And you have slain all of these cockatrices.
Yes.
Ooh.
Is anybody still being petrified? Are we all okay?
I'm
Good.
I think I'm okay.
Because I do not want to look one of you around in the bag of holding.
If you want, I can double check everybody.
As you look through everyone, there's no bites, there's no stone scratches or anything, and you find yourselves to be in a pretty good spot. And I actually have to go to the bathroom really bad, so role play for just a couple minutes, and then I'll be right back. And then
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Don't we end at 11?
yeah,
we're
I think
almost
we
done.
end in 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like we'd all just be standing around, looking at whatever corpses remain. All right, well, that was fun.
Well, I was pretty dang useless in that fight.
Do you think there's gonna be any more?
Did you see me throw my knife? And it
Oh.
just went straight through the ground. If I could blush, I would be.
Fine, I can't really see much of anything right now. Still, trying to see.
Yeah, Brenda's fully pulling herself slowly up from the ground where she was still prone because we hadn't got back to her turn again.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Canary would come over and try and help her up, and then get pulled down into the grass just from
Oh
the
yeah,
weight.
she fully is like, "Arr."
Canary just
not
flips over.
not like a girl, but like as she's trying to pull herself up with the remaining effects of the paralyzed falling off.
Moxie just sighs and goes to help both of them get up.
So, what about cockatrice turn victims to stone, and is it something I could collect in a vial? Because that would be helpful.
I felt like I just got bit and they did it, so maybe it's in their teeth.
Makes sense.
Do cockatrices have teeth? I mean, they
Birds
look like
don't have
birds.
teeth. Most birds don't have teeth. I don't know how things keep biting us when they don't have teeth.
I mean, that beak was kind of sharp when I punched it.
I mean, it's a peck, not a bite.
Oh, well,
Actually, is it? I'm sorry. Hey, Deb.
what?
Didn't have it. He didn't hear it.
What?
Could Umbrin find a way to collect a sample of what cockatrice use to make people turn to stone? Or is it a magic thing?
Roll me a survival check.
13.
Are you proficient with it?
No.
You can add your alchemist supplies.
Oh. So, I will roll with my alchemist kit.
Yeah.
Not better.
Not better.
9. I take the 13 survival.
You're unable to really figure out how these birds or these bird-like monstrosities do what they do.
That's fine.
Unfortunately. But you definitely can tell that these things are like weak. They have strength in numbers. Nothing too spectacular about them. And also, as you all are looking around, and I'm sure Rexel's having the homunculus just fly around, checking things out. The rest of these plains and these grasslands, this mile stretch, actually doesn't seem to like there's anything else there. You realize that it's actually getting a little bit later, despite the crystal sun above, and you're thinking this might actually be a good place to flatten out some grass, create like a little area, and camp here.
We're the aliens.
Yes.
We would like to take an hour to make crop circles. Just
Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, Moxie's just gonna get out her, quarterstaff and spin around until the grass isn't there anymore, and then there you go, crop circle.
There you go. But you realize that this might be a real good place to take a long rest, and that is actually where we're gonna end it for tonight.
Woohoo!
You survived episode 1.
yeah.
We did it.
It was rocky for a minute there.
Canary almost died.
No,
Brain
it's
almost
fine.
got petrified.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
We're fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything is fine.
Brain
The
is not
grass is-
emotionally scarred or anything.
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing. And then the
Moxie will
grasses catch on
just
fire.
punch everyone to healing. It's not a big deal.
And then the
Well,
grasses
I don't know
catch
what
on
you guys are talking about. I didn't even get hit.
Okay.
We should invest in teaching Canary Shield. It's working wonders.
If clerics had access to it, we would.
So, audience members, I hope that you enjoyed tonight. Thank you for joining us for episode 1. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandpa Johan and your great grandma Lena.
Oh, yeah.
Funny story. I don't know if you guys are watching chat. When we were during that fight, since Brina was petrified, I was looking at Ancestry.com, and I, in fact, do have a great grandma Lena.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Of course.
I did not do that on purpose. I haven't looked at it in years, so I did not remember that. But yeah,
So
I
now
actually
she's
have a great
famous.
grandma
How
Lena.
fun is
She
that?
is.
Yeah,
That's
so
fun.
yeah, thank you for joining us. This first episode was a ton of fun for me. I hope that the players also had a ton of fun. You also got a taste of what the dungeon sphere is going to be like. It's going to be like, there's going to be stuff. You're going to have to deal with things. The threats could be major, minor, surprising, dark, or they could be emotional twists. Things that impact your mind, your soul, not your body. Who knows?
I was hoping it was going to be a riddle.
So much more exists. So much more lies and awaits in the dungeon sphere. And trust me, there will be riddles. There will be riddles. But yeah. Hopefully everyone joins us next week, and bring your friends, like I said. We are a lot of fun to watch and to be around. And
It's
we
true.
also have some other stuff that happens on this channel. Like tomorrow night, a group of the cast members from both World's Greatest Dungeon and the Dungeon Sphere will be playing Three Dragon Ante tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. That is Monday. Tomorrow is Monday.
Good job. Dan.
We don't. What is Ryan saying? No show next week?
Yeah,
so what?
we're not meeting on the 4th.
Oh, yeah. The 4th is Easter. I'm a Satanist, so I don't practice that. But for those of you who do, we're going to take a break next Sunday, and you will enjoy we will all enjoy a weekend off and a weekend to recover from the trauma.
Get ready
yes.
for the trauma the week
What
after.
drama? Nothing happened to Umbra.
Something happened to Umbrin.
Yeah, like something we were going to figure out. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know,
Doesn't know
but
yet.
now.
But one day he'll look back on it and be like, "Oh, now I know."
When he
Exactly.
gets that wish, he's going to be like, this.
No.
And then this Wednesday we have a World's Greatest Dungeon, the original Scryervision broadcast at 7:30 p.m. Central. And then we don't have a little bit more paint, which is our miniature painting segment on this coming Sunday for the same reasons. But the Sunday after that, we'll be reinstating a little bit more paint. I believe Hannah finished the Keyleth miniature today, actually. So
If I recall correctly, there might be something special on the 11th as opposed to Hannah.
there might be. Is it Ryan? Is Ryan doing something? Who knows? Wyatt, make me cheesy potatoes too.
Okay. From now on, anything create food and drink is just gonna be cheesy potatoes.
Cheesy potatoes.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Cheesy potatoes and
Eat your cheesy potatoes.
cheesy potatoes and unagi.
Oh no! Oh, that sounds like the worst combination of food. Oh.
Umbra
Now-
usually watches his friends eat cheesy potatoes.
I want to experience this.
So Nightbot has already posted the socials for the cast members of the Scryervision shows, so you can check that out. But I also have some of the socials here up on our overlay, so if you need another visual
If
for
you
that.
can read them this time, because was it mine weird last time?
Was it?
Oh,
yeah, so
mine's-
like it
it's
made
still-
it still says Braun.
The eye is there, it's just really skinny.
I'm
It's
missing a
okay,
T in my name, so look
You
to
are.
Nightbot.
You are.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
Nightbot is right.
You know what?
Nightbot is right.
Nightbot is right.
I could have fixed that, but I forgot. It's
You
an
have
easy
2
fix, though.
weeks. You have 2 weeks.
I'll get a Twitter one day.
Lissa also streams independently on her own Twitch channel.
I do. It's twitch.tv/Brena, and I play Warcraft, and I play Diablo, and I prep for my private games that I run before this one, so you can watch me prep. That's a pretty fun time. Figuring out
Oh, yeah.
Feywilds. I'm gonna figure out more Feywild stuff next week. It was great. We did.
Ooh.
Today, my players went to a town called Water Drop Village, and all the houses are made of water droplets, and it's super cute.
I have some
And-
homebrew stuff I could send you for like fake creatures.
That would be super helpful because my players are level 9, and most of the fake creatures in D&D Beyond are like 8 and below. Anyways,
They are. That's why I homebrewed, because I'm like, I need stronger fake creatures.
so I stream a lot, mostly in the morning and sometimes on Saturday, and I have my Switch tied up too, so I can play Switch games, and that's gonna be fun too. So
Yeah.
yes, you should follow me.
And then our final announcement is that there's this thing called Jasper's Game Day. This is a special charity event that is like ongoing throughout the year. That is a D&D game playing situation, essentially, where people can pay or donate to play in tables and do other awesome stuff, donate, sponsor, whatnot. It all goes towards helping with suicide prevention and awareness of mental health and destigmatizing that, because there's still stigma over mental illness and the things associated with that. And so Jasper's Game Day is a great way to help fight against the stigma and support those in need. We are actually sponsoring a table, Scryervision. It will actually be on the mini terrain domain Scryer or Twitch channel, so you can check that out. Just look up mini terrain domain. I believe that we have it on our page as like an affiliate or an associated Twitch stream, which is super cool. And that will actually be 10:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Eastern Standing Time. Eastern. Wow, I can't say anything. Eastern. My brain is like Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, the 6th of May? Question mark? Nope, the 6th of May. And the reason it's so late in terms of Eastern Standard Time, why can't it? EST.
It's very late.
It's because it's in California. That's where it's originating, I believe. So anyway, that's all the announcements we had. Thanks for joining us. Follow us on the socials. Make sure to hit follow on the Twitch channel. Get other people to follow us, because the more followers and subscribers and stuff we get, the more we can do. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great night, a great Easter, and great Passover, if you are in the Jewish community. And that's it. Good night, everyone. Fare thee well.
Good
Sleep
night.
well.
Good night.
Enjoy your
Night.
nights, your
Raid,
time.
raid.